You're looking at two men that are back at practice doing Joe Burrow and Jaxon Smith-Njigba things. These two men are going to help take you to the promised land. These two men are back, baby, and we're here to discuss it live on the Fantasy Football Show emergency live stream, double dipping into the 8 p.m. show a little early so we can get some more fantasy football talk on. But we're here. We're live. We're going to be doing Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty drafting tomorrow night. So make sure you hit the link I'm dropping in the live chat right now. Sign up in advance so you can get into the drafts tomorrow. Let's talk JSN. Let's talk Burrow. Let's talk about why these two guys are league-winning monsters. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Joe Burrow back at practice, looking spry, throwing the ball around, running around, doing Joe Burrow things, and there's nothing to be concerned about as far as week one, unless there's some sort of setback, which would be very assuming of anybody to just start thinking that things are going to go in a negative direction when there's absolutely zero reason to go in a negative direction. We told you stay away from JT. I told everyone to stay away from JT, and I told everyone to go running toward Joe Burrow. Sometimes injury and threat of injury can ruin a player's ADP, but it's the writing on the wall that you have to measure, the writing on the wall that you have to look at to determine if everybody's a petrified Peter, a worried William, a casual Caleb, an Excel sheet Eric that doesn't really understand the situation, and they're knee-jerk reacting and running for the hills while you're saying, wait a minute here. Wait up freaking minute. You're telling me Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow, a guy that belongs in round number 2 with Patrick Mahomes and Hurts and Josh Allen. He belongs there. Him and Fields belong there. There's a reason that 2 of my best 4 picks in 2023 are Joe Burrow and Justin Fields, who both belong at the same exact table Jalen Hurts is sitting at, Josh Allen is sitting at, and Patrick Mahomes is sitting at. But the beautiful part here is this man doesn't live in round 2. He doesn't live in round 3. He maybe lives in 4 or 5, but this injury put him in 6-7 territory, and we've been here all month. Scoop him up, scoop him up, scoop him up everywhere you can, because this man's not going to be a threat to sit out week 1. I mean, there's a little bit of risk when involved whenever there's an injury, of course, but the writing was on the wall on this one, and Petrified Peters scattered everywhere, just scattered, and allowed us for over a month straight to pick up Joseph cigar-smoking wonderful Burrow in the rounds 5, 6, 7, where we've been cleaning up on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Again, link has been dropped right this very second, and we'll be drafting on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday night, probably Sunday day. Probably throw a daytime draft in there so that everybody that can't make the graveyard shifts can go drafting and shopping for Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow. So don't miss your chance to draft tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Do it live, promo code Smitty. Download the app. Get ready. Don't be caught with your pants down saying, how do I get into the draft on Thursday night? How do I get into the draft on Friday? Just download it. It takes 2 minutes. Use code Smitty. The link inserts code Smitty for you. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. We've been stealing Joe Burrow away. Just stealing him away from people in 5, 6, 7. That time is over. Joe Burrow's back at work. He's got the cigar in his mouth. He's back at practice, throwing the foosball around. And he's sitting there going, Jamar Chase. And his value is returning to form. But here's the interesting part. Here's the beautiful part. Here's the part that should have every single one of you still smiling from ear to ear, is that Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow was never meant or born for the 4th round. His return to the 4th round is still return to glory. His return to round 4 still is what I did this video upon. This video had nothing to do with his calf injury. This video had nothing to do with whether he was a great pick in round 5, 6, 7. This video was about Joe Burrow winning you, kind sir, a league if you draft him in round 4, round 5. So, the good news is this. Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, this madman, this madcap, this king of all trades, this guy that's going to help you walk into your fantasy football championship. And that's not to say we don't like Fields as well at an almost equal pace. Okay? This man right here, Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, has returned to the 4th and 5th round where I designed and architected a video around it, making him my one of my 4 best picks in all of 2023 from the 4th round. So don't think, oh, he's returned to the 4th round, I'll stop drafting him. Keep scooping him up. Keep scooping him up, but also scoop up this man in equal parts, equal shares. Fields and Burrow, Burrow and Fields. Finkel and Einhorn, Einhorn and Finkel. These are 2 in the same. These 2 gentlemen are going to win leagues. They're going to win leagues, and they're going to do it live, and you're either on board or you're not. And we'll take away Bijan cards where we have to if we must.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
JSN. So let me show this glorious photo of Burrow. Just, wonderful hair. Number 9. Strutting on in. Burrow is back in pads and ready to practice on the field, throwing the foosball, looking like an absolute boss on the field, looking like a commander, looking like the Joe Cool that he is. And for everybody that doubts him, I feel bad for you. For everybody that doesn't understand that he belongs in round 2, I feel bad for you. I don't feel that bad for you. I'm here to tell you, but I feel bad for you at least a little bit. And people that have been doubting this guy that we've been pumping up like almost no other wide receiver outside of the top like 2, 3, 4 rounds. This is a gentleman that has been a steal in recent fantasy football drafts. Scooping him up like he's a 6th, 7th, 8th rounder. We've been getting JSN in the 8th round, which is completely disrespectful. Completely disrespectful. And we've been scooping up JSN in the 8th round, 7th round. He was climbing to the 5, 6. And I don't think he's going to, like Joe Burrow, return to his old positioning ADP-wise, because he still has the healing wrist. They put a cast on it. He's got a cast. He's going around catching footballs, though. Pulling them in, catching footballs, pulling them in on the sideline, on the field, not just on the sideline, running routes, grabbing footballs that are aggressively thrown. This man's on the field as if he's going to play week 1. If he wasn't in line, not saying it's guaranteed, they might err on the side of caution, but if he wasn't in line to start week 1, I don't think he'd be out there right now as aggressively catching footballs as he is running routes. He'd be on the sideline maybe catching short little passes with a ball boy, just throwing the ball back and forth, catching the football, practicing, just getting out there, being with the boys. He's out running crispy, hardcore routes as I have right here on screen. Where is that graphic? Here it is. This one right here. He's out running crispy routes in his helmet with his gear on, running crispy routes, getting thrown the football aggressively, doing 10-yard outs, doing slants, doing hooks, doing everything you want a grown man to do that's named Jaxon Smith-Njigba, or AKA nicknamed JSN. This monster right here is potentially going to win leagues. There's a reason he's on the midseason monster list, because even if he starts off slow, misses week 1, or gets eased into the offense because of the wrist and has to wear the cast for a couple weeks into the season, he's still a midseason monster. He will be a moon man by probably the first couple weeks into the season, but at least by midseason. That is what a midseason monster means. Midseason monster means that by at least midseason, but it could be week 1 or 2, you, my friend JSN, will be playing at Moonmen capability, fully ready for your space launch. Herbert is another candidate. Breece Hall, who's also a Moonman. He did not get removed from the Moonman list just because he is a midseason monster. They can coexist, some of these labels. And this man, Zay Flowers, could be lights out in week 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to come later, but he is a midseason monster. JSN is the leader of the midseason monsters. And the fact that he's out there with the cast on, which will help keep the injury from getting worse, or for him re-injuring it or causing some other further damage, it needs to heal. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place whenever you insert any hardware or bolts or any sort of like piece into the wrist to help support it. It needs time to grab on, hold, heal, and not be subject to potentially, let's say, a screws in there. And that screw, a lot of the time when they put these in wrists or bones or joints in your knee, for example, when they put an ACL, a new ACL into your joint and your knee, there's screws that they put on each side. Then they drill a hole and put that ACL in. And if the bone doesn't grow into the screws and grab a hold of it, the screws will have like holes in it so that the bone can go in and grab it and wrap around. If you don't have time for these things to heal, you can have those screws or whatever hardware is in a person's body get pulled away and separate and cause no assistance at all in terms of keeping whatever piece of the bone together or supported. It'll just come undone. So he's got to have the cast on there. But I don't know that it's going to affect him. And sometimes when you have adversity, sometimes when you're a right-handed person and you break your right arm and you learn to do things with your left, you become a more polished player. Part of me feels like this smart guy right here, this guy that runs crispy routes, this guy that learns playbooks, this guy that has a history of dominating crowded wide receiver rooms in his past. In college, he played on the same team as Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. And those guys weren't like up and coming. They were the guys that we knew they were, Garrett Wilson and Olave. And here comes this guy. And this guy in a crowded wide receiver room blew those guys out of the water. Now, I'm not saying he'll be a better pro than Olave or Garrett Wilson. You guys know how I feel about G. Willie and Chris Olave. But this man right here proved to me through that situation that he can go into a crowded wide receiver room, especially one that has DK, who I like, but he's not a top 5 wide receiver. He is a top 10 wide receiver specialist in certain categories of the game and the skill set of a wide receiver. He is a jump ball specialist, probably a top 1, 2, 3 overall jump ball specialist. He is a downfield target, a guy that dominates contested balls. He is not a well-polished all-around wide receiver like JSN. Lockett's an old man. He turned 807 yesterday, I believe, and this man's coming for his job. And even if he doesn't physically take his job in the literal sense, he will come and take the volume. This is a vulture. He's a vulture. He vultures and consumes other target share in any room he goes to. And I believe that having a screw in his wrist hampering his abilities will probably, because of his character, because of his hard work and determination, because of his ability to overcome adversity, I have a feeling this makes him a better player. And I firmly believe we will hear a story by somebody when they do an interview or some sort of Schefter, Ian Rappaport report, or some sort of tweet from somebody, a beat writer, as small as that or as big as a bigger story, that where we hear at some point that this made him focus more, this made him focus on different parts of his game and make him hone in on things he needed to work on. He turned weaknesses, or not weaknesses necessarily because he doesn't really have any, but he turned maybe some things that aren't his best attributes into his best attributes. He turns weaknesses into strengths, for a lack of better terms and words, and I do believe that JSN will be better for it. And I don't know that he misses week 1. And even if he does, he wasn't necessarily slated for a starting role in a system that doesn't often run 3 wide receivers out there, and he's not taking Lockett or DK's slot yet in the lineup. So he would be limited in some capacity in week 1 until we see Seattle roll out a lot more 3 wide receiver sets. What I fully intend, I fully think they will, because why would Pete Carroll draft this man? Pete Carroll is a mastermind. Pete Carroll does believe, in my opinion, Pete Carroll does believe that he can get, I think, this offense into in a direction that is different and 3 wide receiver geared, and that's the way Pete Carroll operates. And yeah, I didn't let anybody on IG know we were going live. Let me go ahead and send that to my IG people and make sure they know we're going live as well, because I forgot to do that. I apologize for any of my IG alert people. That was my bad. Let me go ahead and put this up on Instagram and throw a link on and make sure everybody knows that we're live. We're going to be hitting the phone lines in a second, and we're going to be discussing not only these 2 gentlemen, but any other topics you guys might have. We're going to hit the super chats. We're going to open the phone lines a little earlier than normal and mix that into the super chat so you guys don't feel like this is just a super chat show. But all super chats will be handled immediately and in order in which they're received. So if you've got one, drop it now. Get in line now so you're not waiting. And we will do it live. Appreciate you all. And let me drop this in here live on IG, and then that way everybody knows that we're good to go. Okay, so let me put that up there, and then we'll go ahead and get to business. So phone lines are going to be open. I'll open them now.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I'm not going to keep a phone line panel open. This will be you call in, you ask your question, you get out. At the moment, later on, we'll potentially open up a phone line panel if we have time. But this will be like a one and done type of thing. So if you got a question, you can dial in right now, ask away, and we'll take care of you. Let me make sure I let all my people know that we're live right now on IG. Appreciate my IG people. Live now. Okay, there we go. So that should handle it there. Big Rod, appreciate you. Vampy, appreciate you. We got Okafor calling in. Okafor, what do you want to be negative about today, Okafor? But I do appreciate you. You're live.
Yeah, it caught me red-handed. So, I saw he pull up, or as far as JSN and Burrow goes. I don't know what they're. I mean, I have no problems with any of that. Burrow, good value. JSN, good value. Though I don't know how far he's fallen. I've kind of like wrapped up drafting for the year. But I started mid-season monsters list, and I happened to see a Khalil Herbert, which then brought a bunch of questioning and wondering why.
Wondering why Khalil Herbert is on the mid-season monsters? Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Do you mean that in like a rhetorical way, or almost like a negative way, in that he should be a moon man and not a mid-season monster, or is it why is he on there? You like Roschon Johnson? I'm trying to get a feel for what your angle is here.
You pretty much all three.
All three. Okay. Well, first of all, we don't get a real solid sense that the Bears are fully committed to him. I don't at least. And so if everybody on the phone line could just mute themselves, we got a lot of background noise. I think that if we had more of a verbal indication that Khalil Herbert was the man and he was going to get fed workhorse volume. We still got some background noise. I don't know if somebody, when I said go on mute and someone didn't go on mute, I really meant it when I said it. Thank you. Appreciate it. And if that's Okafor's phone, Okafor, you might have me on speaker or something. Okay. But Khalil Herbert is the topic right now. I'm going to put the topic on screen to keep it, very easy when people watch this replay, what we're talking about. If we had a more like distinct indication that he was the guy right out of the gate, that's when I would probably say, okay, we got to try to find a way to move him on the Moon Man list. But I will say, in all honesty, Okafor, in like a way of cheating, I can't fit any more Moon Men on. And because there's that little like loophole in his potential value and the confidence that is not, we think it's there, but we don't know it's there, it allows me to still include him in a Moon Man category. Like I wish I wasn't using the loopholes a little bit to get him onto a list, but I can't really put him on the Moon Man list right now. Not without that stamp of approval verbally, publicly. He looks really good. He was number 1 in the NFL in yards per carry last year on a boatload of carries and yards. It wasn't like he qualified in the category by having like 100 yards rushing. He was like a 700 or 800 yard rusher, if I remember correctly, last year. And he averaged number 1 in the National Football League in yards per carry. So he's got a lot of upside, a lot of potential. You have to cuff him to Roschon Johnson. You have to. It's an absolute must. They're probably two of the more important low-end running back situations you could cuff together and maybe get away with a hero RB or zero RB approach, a Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson running back too. Like that could be your running back too. But if you just have Khalil or you just have Roschon, you've got upside at the cost of entry, no doubt about it, but you don't quite have the full piece of the puzzle. But they can't be Moon Men. Not everybody can be Moon Men. And so for that reason, I don't have them, in that capacity. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, pretty.
Okay. I mean, I wish everybody could be a Moon Man, my guy. I wish. All right, what else? What else you got, Okafor?
That's it. Just I was thinking that Roschon, to me, I guess I have to watch. I know Khalil Herbert puts some good numbers anytime he appears on the field, but when I just get this feeling watching him that Roschon is the most talented and he's just going to end up taking over.
Well, that's why he's a mid-season monster. You put the words in, you put those words out there, and those are the words that I pretty much just used. Is going to, what'd you say? Eventually?
Take over.
You see what I'm saying? That's why he's a mid-season monster, because the words you just used, take over. To me, that emphasizes... Huh?
Roschon take over?
No. You're asking why Khalil Herbert is not on the actual Moon Men list, essentially, right? And I'm saying it's because of the words you just used. He's going to take over. Khalil Herbert's going to take over, insinuating he doesn't really necessarily fully have the job. That's why he's a mid-season monster. Huh?
I'm saying Roschon to take over.
Oh, Roschon? I mean, he could. That's why the cuffing's important. But either way, even if it was Roschon couldn't be a Moon Man in my mind yet, because we just don't know what the situation looks like, bro. So hang tight. Actually, if everybody could mute real quick, let me go through these super chats real quick, and then I will go around the phone line. James P. I think James P. might be behind on the video. When I mean behind on the video, I think he might be watching the 2022 video of Breece Hall tearing his ACL, because he's come in and told us Hall is undraftable in capital letters. Very interesting, James. I would love for you to dial in and fantasy explain that to me, and tell me why Breece Hall is a undraftable player, let alone a top 5 to 10 running back in 2023. You heard me right, James. You heard me right. He is a top 5, not top 10, top 5 to 10 running back, James. Don't be a worried William, James. Don't be a worried William. And you're certainly going on a lap for that one, and I'm taking away your Bijan card on top of it.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Okay, hang tight, callers. If everybody could please mute, I would appreciate it. And I'm going to get through these real quick. Great show, Smitty. We just decided the pick list in my league, and I got the 6 pick. What are the 3 or 4 realistic picks I should be aiming for? I mean, obviously, the top 2 wide receivers will be gone. So it comes down to Bijan and Kelsey for me. And if you at 6 pick, you don't need to go Garrett Wilson. You'll get Bijan or Kelsey, I think, in most cases. That'll be a slam dunk. And he's there at 6 probably 90% of the time. And if he goes, you could go 100 different directions, Eckler, whatever you want. I would rather trade down if you could at that point to get Garrett Wilson versus force Garrett Wilson at 6. $10 super chat from Dakota Dave. Appreciate you, Dakota. And thank you for your super chat, by the way, pal. Dakota Dave, thank you for yours as well. Crushed my draft thanks to the Professor Smitty. 10-team PPR, Fields, Bijan, Pollard, Walker, Amon-Ra, London, Waller, benches, Javonte. That's an absolute masterful job, Dakota. Love it, bro. Love it. You don't need to do a thing. Let those guys gain value, then come around and maybe make some trades. Dotson on the bench, Flowers, Chigakonkwo. You're going to have so much trade potential in your draft later on, in your league later on. Just hang tight with it. Don't be impatient with it. Don't sell it early. Don't sell it cheap. We've got this one right here from Bunk. Bunk says, $10 hauler, Smitty.
To the moon.
Which I appreciate, and all $10 haulers get a moonshot. Full PPR. Fields, Lamb, Ridley, great receivers, great quarterback. Bijan, ETN, amazing running backs. Goddard, Godwin, Gabe Davis, Swift, Charbonnet, Bigsby. Would you make any moves? I wanted Pollard, but the guy wants Goddard and ETN. I could give up Goddard and ETN for Pollard if that's the guy you want, but I do believe ETN could give Pollard a run for his money. I truly believe he's that good. I don't think this is one of those situations where they can't be almost equals. I think ETN, if he gets thrown the football, then he's going to potentially have that top 5 to 10 running back upside, especially if they limit his rushing a little bit like they've said, and they give Tank Bigsby a lot of goal line work. He needs something. Something's got to give, or ETN goes down in value. And the way I've watched him in the preseason, scoring a touchdown, looking really efficient, utilized, I'm feeling very confident that Peterson and everybody there wants to use this man, ETN, in the ways we've been wanting them to use him. Bay Area, I put you on the line. Please mute yourself until I come to you if you could. ETN is an absolute gem, and he's a third-round steal, but Pollard is a top 12 to 15 overall player. So Goddard is expected if you're going to make that trade. And if you want Pollard, go get your guy. Pick up another tight end. I don't know if you had another one. I just closed it. But, Kincaid, Okonkwo, Kmet, Juwan Johnson, those are all guys that you could shove into your lineup and probably survive. But don't discount the ability of ETN to get into the top 5 running backs. He can get there. I do like Pollard more. I do draft Pollard over ETN 10 times out of 10. But that's mainly not just because I think that's the way it'll play out. I do believe there's a world I just explained where ETN could be as good or better. But because the ADPs are as such, I'm drafting Pollard every time because I can maybe get both of them that way. But it's tough. I don't think Goddard's too much to move the needle in terms of the ADP values. $5 hauler from Grant. 10-team half PPR, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. Hurts, Garrett Wilson, Watson, Bijan, Gibbs, Breece, Swift, Hawkinson, Kincaid, JSN, Addison, Algier, B-Rob. How did I do? Any changes? Good job. 10-team league, 2 wide receiver. Hurts, Garrett Wilson, Watson, Bijan. Couldn't have done better, pal. And there's not really any moves to be made because you got a bunch of monsters that I love. Just wait on Swift to gain value. Wait on Addison. Wait on B-Rob, Brian Robinson, if he can gain any value at all. Wait on JSN to come back. You'll have some maneuverability if you wanted to, but you got to wait. Swift would be interesting to couple with Addison. If Addison started to have a really good start to the year, you could maybe go as high as a Walker, a Breece Hall, a Deebo Samuel. Deebo's a great target right now. Hawkinson, I would trade if you had the cojones to do it and wanted to go commando at the tight end position and find a tight end like Juwan Johnson, whatever, and turn Hawkinson into a Deebo, turn Hawkinson into a Walker right now. Those are moves that I like to make. Once my team's settled and I realize I might want another RB or wide receiver and I got Hawkinson at a value. Thank you for the super chat. Tyler, $5 hauler, 10-team, 2-keeper redraft. Chase Cup, you're keeping 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Using best player available, my first round pick can draft Amon-Ra for a flex or Gibbs for a running back 1. Thoughts? I mean, Gibbs is not going in a keeper. He has a little more value, but he's still going in round 2 to 3 instead of 3 in a keeper format because it's not dynasty. And so I would rather, if I'm you, I'd rather take Amon-Ra and try and steal Gibbs away as well because you're not going to get both if you go the other direction. All right. Got those super chats out of the way. I'm going to drop more super chats on screen here, and I'm going to answer a few calls. Thank you, Tyler, for your super chat. Let's go on over to D-Class, who's been waiting patiently. D-Class, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I do for you?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? I got an easy one. It's a yes or no. It might be a take a lap material, but should I be dropping Mingo to stash Deuce Vaughn as a Pollard owner?
I would. It's not a dumb question because we love both of them. And to be frank, man, he's still, no matter how iffy he looks, my guy, right now in terms of what we thought he would be and what he's been looking like. And there's been some positive talk, but Mingo's one of those guys that we really thought could have been just a riser. A potential mini A.J. Brown in the making. And I say mini because I don't want anybody to think I'm saying he will be A.J. Brown. But we haven't heard as much. He's been kind of quiet. It's been kind of quiet on the Mingo front. But you need that cuff, and I think that's a really, really solid move. Solid move.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
it's not a comfortable move, to do anything like that. Cut a guy that, we do like in Mingo, but it's probably more uncomfortable to leave your backup out there on the waiver wire, and if somebody else scoops him up, all you're going to do is sit there and wonder, how can I go get him? Then you're going to overpay to go get him, and you don't want to have to overpay to get that taken care of right now. You know what I mean? Like, Mingo, are you really going to win your league off Mingo? Probably not, unless he's the next Marquise Colston. Remember Colston coming out of nowhere in New Orleans? We all thought he was a tight end when he first, because he kind of was. Like, Marquise Colston was like a tight end wide receiver option that nobody knew who he was. He kind of came out of nowhere, and he's league winning. He was league winning. So it's possible. You never know. But I don't think Adam Thielen's going to go quietly into the night. He might be somebody that actually, has some decent wide receiver 4 value in 2023. And so for that reason, I feel like Mingo probably will go the route of inconsistency for a rookie, and we'll see him do well, we'll see him do okay, we'll see him do well, we'll see him do bad. I think he's not a guy that's going to just pop off because he's got a rookie quarterback. He's got a team that's trying to, put things together. There's no consistency waiting for Mingo. I don't think so. Right. But Dynasty, good value. Go get Deuce Vaughn. Go do it now. All right, hang tight, D-Class. I'm going to put you on hold real quick, and then I'm going to get through a few of these. I got two $20 haulers. Charles Mayo dropping a super chat on screen that is a $20 hauler, but I don't see a question attached to it. Let me see if Mayo dropped a question here. He did. Charles, thank you for the $20 hauler, my guy, and we'll celebrate you, my man, right now. Let me make it rain for you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20.
Okay, so his question was, thank you, Charles, for dropping that 20 spot. 10-man league, let's talk about this year. Kelsey, Henry, Mahomes. He's got Mahomes. I got Mahomes. I don't know who this guy is. This guy's got to be good. He went in the 3rd round. Mahomes. Walker. Oh, it's a steal. Breece Hall. Come on, bro. You're drafting with grandmas. This is a great grandma league. Not even a grandma league. This is what we call a great grandma league. DJ Moore in round 6, Javonte 7, Pickens 8, Christian Watson 9. That's when I know that literally there's 4 corpses in this league, because there's no way Christian Watson, that nobody knows who he is in this league, is what I think. Charles, I'm not judging you, Charles. You're in a grandma league. It's okay, but you are going to crush it. If I were you, I'd get a hold of these ladies if they're still up. What time is it Eastern? It might be past their bedtime. It's what, 5? It's 8:19 p.m. They might still be at bingo. I'd get over there to the bingo hall and see if you could corral these little ladies up and say, give me half the money now. Give me half the money now, and I'll let you all redraft. That's what I would do, Charles. And you don't need any of my help. You've got JSN on the bench. So that's a fantastic job. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Absolute mockery of these ladies who have given their life to this world, and they're out there, doing good work. They're trying to live their life, and this man Mayo goes into a nursing home and cleans them up, takes their entry fees and just mops the floor with them while they're at bingo trying to regain their losses. Okay, this is from, so thank you, Charles. This one is from Overcome. It's a $20 hauler. Overcome, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That better not be Shady Acres. That's where my great-grandmother is. Okay? You better not be at Shady Acres taking advantage of my grandma's hard-earned bingo money, Mayo. Mayo. Jeez, Mayo. And there's a 10 grandma league too. It wasn't like it was 8. That's what's crazy. Okay, Overcome with a $20 hauler, having the hardest time upgrading running back. Team is Dak, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Dotson, MT, Hall, Kamara, Madison, White. Walker owner won't give him up without a fight. Best bros are grandma to where they hold to Yahoo ADP. Okay. Look, bro, this is one of those things where I look at this team and I say, you know, Dak, I don't love Dak at all as a quarterback. But you have Garrett Wilson, you have Jamar Chase, you have Dotson, you're great at wide receiver. You're good at running back, you could get better. You have Hall, Kamara, Madison, Rashad White, Charbonnet, Andrews. The part where I could flex on this and potentially give is scoop up a tight end, go commando at tight end, give Andrews for Walker and something, if he would do that. If he won't do that, then you might have to move on to a different team, because some people just won't let go of some other players, you know what I mean? But for me, looking at this team, Wilson, Olave, Chase, Dotson, you don't have to do anything. If I'm making an upgrade, it's to go get Fields or Burrow, to be frank. Give up Andrews, go commando at tight end, grab an Okonkwo, grab a Juwan Johnson who might be on waivers, go get a Fields or a Burrow or a Hurts or a Mahomes. You add a Mahomes, a Hurts, or a Fields to Chase, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Dotson, and Hall with Kamara coming back, you're going to the moon. You could also trade Madison and Dotson. Dotson's got good value right now to try and get like a Ramondre. You know, would be someone I would go after. Madison and something for Debo. Andrews for Debo and something. Those are potential, if you can even start them. I don't even know if you can start them. And then trade Dotson and Madison for an RB. Like, just giving you some ideas, spitballing that. Andrew, yeah, that's probably where I'd take this team. But you don't even need to do anything necessarily, Overcome, because that team can survive waiting on Kamara. It's 3 weeks. I think with that squad, you could skate by and make some, get some W's put together. Ron Navy dropping a $50 wad on screen. Congratulations on the 21K. We did put that behind here. 21K, we did hit it. We did it. We did it, Ma. Appreciate you all. Ron Navy, thank you. Prayers up to Miss Navy. Drop some prayer emojis, please. It'd be helpful if I hit the button.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate that, Ron Navy. Farb, you're live on the show.
What's up, man? I got 2 questions. First one, 12-team keeper. My keepers, I'm starting off Pollard, Ridley, Fields. I got the 3rd pick. So I'm wondering, should I go Bijan or should I lock up Kelsey? And now I got a pretty stacked, balanced team. On the comeback, I'm probably looking at like Gibbs territory as far as where it falls off with all the keepers. Like I know Jefferson's a keeper. I think Chase is a keeper. What do you think? Do I just go Bijan? I know like Breece Hall will probably be out there on the comeback with all the keepers taken off the board.
You said you have Pollard, Ridley, and who?
And Fields.
So are you going to have keeper value in Bijan though if you draft him?
Nah, first 3 rounds you can't keep.
Pollard, Ridley, and then Bijan would be your trio. That's a really sick trio, man. I like Kelsey a lot. I do. I could go that route, but with all the keepers involved, I'd probably go Bijan. If this was a fresh startup draft or something like that, I think Kelsey makes some sense because then you have control of the the thinned out running back and wide receiver, rooms that you're gonna be looking at now. Like, I don't know what those look like. I'm batting blind here, and I have a feeling that the richness of the running back and wide receiver rooms will be unpredictable. And so if I'm you, I would just go the route of getting a Waller if you want to go a little bit bigger name tight end, or you go, with the guys that we talk about all the time, the Conquos. Juwan Johnson's a really crafty, cup for one of those guys. But I wouldn't mess around with the keeper league and assume that I'm going to not build some very thin team. You're starting off great, but I personally, without knowing the board, I can't condone a Kelsey in this situation when Bijan's sitting right there. You're going to have Bijan, Pollard, and Ridley. You could have a top 5 wide receiver. You could have 2 top 5 running backs. And who the hell knows if you land that Waller, that Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram's been a steal. You could get him really cheap right now.
All right, yeah, definitely. And I got Fields, too, so I'm set at quarterback.
Oh, yeah, Fields, yeah, do that.
That makes sense.
Bijan, bro.
Yeah, the receivers and running backs will thin out quick.
All right,
so.
hang tight. Put it on mute if you could, real quick. Bay Area, go quick, and then I got to get back to some super chats. Bay Area, and then I'm gonna go to Seabass, and then I'm gonna circle back around to you guys, but I'm gonna have you mute real quick. So Bay Area.
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
What's up, Bay Area?
Hey, real quick. So I just drafted. I just want to get some insight if I should make any changes. So I drafted 9th, and I got Bijan, I got CD, got Andrews, Amari Cooper, T-Law, Rashad White, then I got Evan Ingram, Scary Terry, T. Ryan, then on the bench I got like Kirk Cousins, Jalen Warren, Nico Collins. So that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. If I should make any moves, or what do you think?
I mean, if it was me, I like this team. What Bijan, CD, and who? I put on it auto-corrected Andres.
Oh, you're good. So it's Bijan, CD, Mark Andrews, Amari Cooper. Yeah, and then Amari Cooper, T-Law is quarterback.
Yeah, I got it.
White,
I got it. Bijan, CD, Andrews, Amari, T-Law, Rashad White, Ingram, Terry. Amari Cooper and Rashad White for one player. Go do it. I don't like Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper is just not a waste of a 4th-round pick, but a wasted opportunity because I just don't think he's worth the 4th-round pick. We have no idea what Watson's shaky. The Browns, I don't know. I mean, Amari Cooper's not bad. He did really well last year. I admit I'm a little bit hard on him. I agree. If anybody wants to come at me and say you're too hard on Amari, I believe I probably am. But 4th-round value, Judy and Amari, I don't get it. Rashad White, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th-round pick. Was Walker available when Amari was there? Was Breece Hall available when Amari was there? I'd rather have Deebo Samuel personally. He looks thin and he's moving all over the field, and there's some injury risk, I suppose, but I still like it. I would trade him.
Yeah,
I would trade him.
Deebo was around. I could have got Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh!
Yeah, I know. I thought that.
Let's rock, Smitty.
Amari Cooper over Jahmyr Gibbs. Haven't you been watching any of the channel, bro? I mean, I'm out here bleeding for you. I'm out here bleeding for you. I mean, do I have an Amari Cooper animation? Do I have an Amari Cooper video? I have Jahmyr Gibbs all over the place.
I know.
Hey, at least you're honest, bro. I'll give you that. You're an honest man. We'll call you. Is this Farb? No, this is Bay Area. This is Bay Area.
How should I finesse this and try to sneak a good trade?
I mean, you could go to that person and try and make them just believe Amari Cooper had higher ADP and you're trading downward. But if I got to give up, let me put it this way, bro. I would give up your 4th drafted player and your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your 6th drafted player. This is taking a little bit of a bath on what you did. I'd give up my 4th drafted player, my 6th drafted player, and Terry. I'd give up Amari, Rashad, and Terry to get Jahmyr Gibbs, but that's going to leave you thin. I'm just trying to give you an example of the value that you passed on there. But maybe you go after Walker. Maybe you go after using Rashad White and Terry. You go after Deebo. Maybe you go after a Stevenson or something like that. But I don't know, bro. You're gonna have to try and trade Amari and Rashad, I think, for this team to be Smitty approved at least. Maybe it can be, it can be Bay Area approved, and you trust your gut. Maybe you like Amari, maybe you like Rashad. There are a couple of Rashad White truthers out there that are gonna come in and say, Smitty, I don't know why you don't like Rashad. He's not competing for touches. He sure is. He sure is competing for touches because Sean Tucker is taking first-team reps. Half of the first-team reps are going to Sean Tucker. I don't know if they're going to kick off week 1 that way, but this is also a concerning offense. All right, hang tight. Let me go over to Seabass real quick. Mute yourself, Bay Area. We'll try and think up something in a minute. Maybe you come to me with a couple, go right now on mute. Don't mouth breathe and do it, on the side here. Mute yourself. Look through the rosters, comb through it, and see who the Debo owner has. See who the Walker owner has. See if he has Charbonnet. Just come up with a few ideas, and then we'll start kicking it around. Mute yourself. Seabass, you're live. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, pal?
Not much. Okay, I want to set up a scenario for you. You're a heavily invested Pollard owner, and what you're trying to figure out are what type of players do you pass on to take Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn, at some point, no matter what the league is or the scoring setup or whatever, if you're a Pollard owner and you want that insurance or even, possible flex play, whatever, at what point do you, name me a type of player that you pass on to get Deuce Vaughn.
Hold on. Russian collusion, you got something going on your phone again, pal. You got to restart. Oh, boy. Okay, go ahead, bro. Who do I pass on for Deuce Vaughn? I mean, bro,
yeah,
I don't. That depends on your league.
Okay,
it depends on your
how
ADP.
about Dotson with the Commanders? Or
to pass on
just
Dotson
give me a
for
player in the realm that you have Dotson or Vaughn, and you're a Pollard owner. At what point are you passing on the talent to take Vaughn?
Well, the ADP is nowhere near Dotson. Dotson's a 5th and 6th round pick.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, give me an example of a player where you're like, I can't pass on that player. I'm going to take Vaughn, or vice versa.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, let's not use Dotson. That's a totally
No, but I'm just saying.
I know.
Player X.
Okay.
I'm just trying to say how valuable do you have Vaughn?
Well, this is easy. Let's go to Deuce Vaughn's ADP, and then we'll start looking around and go from there.
Yeah, but we can't really do that because it's skyrocketed every day. It's up 20 points.
Okay, we'll go high, but I'm just saying his ADP right now in Underdog's 183. That's running back That's running back 56.
Okay,
hold on.
Question.
I know. I got you, pal. I'm trying to get there. Just let me get through it, Seabass. I'm trying to help you here. Deuce Vaughn's going as running back 56. Let's bump it straight up to 45. Let's go to 45. And let's say who's at 45. Running back 45. 47 is Algier. Damian Harris is up there. Raheem Mostert. I'm okay bypassing.
I'm taking Vaughn all day in that situation.
I'm okay bypassing those guys. Devon Achane's there. Elijah Mitchell's there. Elijah Mitchell is running back 43. I'm okay bypassing every single one of those guys if you're a Pollard owner.
Me too.
Okay, that is a significant hike from his ADP. You have no business going any higher than that.
Let me bump it up a second. At what point do you think you can actually possibly play Vaughn as a Pollard owner, as a flex play?
We don't know yet. It could be exciting. Or it could be rarely used. We have to wait and see. I think they want to use him, but I think you're a little bit you're a little gung ho on Deuce Vaughn, bro. Like you gotta.
I'm big on handcuffs.
I know, but this is not.
I think I heard you say before he's a top 5 handcuff.
He is, but I don't think you have to. You're overthinking it. You're gonna be able to steal him away. You don't have to go any higher than he has no business going any higher than what I just read off. You're talking about we just moved him up like probably 15 to 20 or maybe 18 running back spots. There's no way you take him over Jerick McKinnon, who's got standalone value. I would take Tank Bigsby over him, even at the cost of somebody sniping me, because no one's sniping me.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. That's where I can kind of juggle this around my head and kind of get a gauge on what his value really is.
Yeah, his value is not higher than 100. And so Tank Bigsby's 118. Jerick McKinnon's 125. If you want to take him around 130 overall versus his ADP of all the way down here, bro. I mean, I have to go really far to find him. And I know every platform is different, but 183. 183. Yeah. If you want to climb him all the way up to 130 behind McKinnon,
and the thing
that's
is,
50 overall ADP. That's 50 overall ADP spot, Seabass. Okay.
If you look at it, say worst case scenario as a Pollard owner, he goes down. Vaughn's not going to just have a monopoly on the backfield. That Rico Dottle guy has put up good numbers in the preseason. They're high on him too.
Yeah, you'll be fine, bro.
So it'll be a committee.
You'll be fine, bro. The thing you got to understand, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, and I got to get to the super chats, and I'm going to have everybody mute on the phone line, is that you're going to be able to tell based on the pre-rank list how much you've got to reach. And when you're sitting there at 130 overall, and McKinnon's off the board, okay, and now you're looking at A-Chain, you're looking at Damian Harris, Raheem Mostert. He's still going to be a scroll or two down on the running back ranking. So take him there. Feel comfortable with yourself. It's fine. But don't go. Don't.
It's not a big reach. When you're at that point in the draft, it's not a big reach.
You started off with Dotson. I know you were just throwing a name out, but you threw out the wrong name at the wrong time because that wasn't
100%.
All right.
Good point.
Mute real quick. I'm going to get through some of these super chats. Appreciate you guys on the phone line. Just hang tight for me real quick.
Thanks, Smitty.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the best, buddy.
Okay.
You're the best,
pal. Okay. G Money dropping a freaking $20 hauler on screen. Brennan Williams dropping a $20 hauler on screen. Appreciate you, both of you. Let me give you both an absolute rain fest here.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate you. G Money says, Smitty, if you go Kelsey in the first round, 1.4, would you go Mahomes in round 2 or wait in round 4 for Burrow or Fields? Because it's redraft, you don't need the stack. I know everybody wants the stack. I know Best Ball's training everybody to think they get more points, but you don't. It depends. I don't need to have Mahomes and Kelsey. I know it's fun, but I'd rather have Fields or Burrow in round 4 if you believe that can get done. And then, you can go ahead and get an Olave. You can go ahead and get a Garrett Wilson, especially if a Garrett Wilson, a Pollard, or a St. Brown falls. If it's Olave and you're feeling iffy, or if Olave goes and you're like, I'm forcing something, then go Mahomes. And the other thing, too, is G-Money, if Mahomes is your guy and you think he's head and shoulders above everybody else, think about it from this perspective. If Mahomes goes in 2, who are you passing on in round 4 if you were to wait and go Fields or Burrow? Maybe it's Walker. So at the end of the day, do I want Walker in that 4th round pick or Fields or Burrow? And then if I'm not getting the wide receiver I want, let's say you're forcing an early Devontae Smith, who I like a lot, but Devontae Smith and Fields, well, I'd rather have Walker and Mahomes. So you have to, obviously get the lay of the land in the 2nd round. And if the player you want is there, then take Fields in round 4 because Olave and Fields is fire. But player X that you don't like in round 2, that you're forcing because you know the values there on Burrow and Fields, Mahomes and Walker's a smash. Mahomes and Hall is a smash. Mahomes and even Christian Watson is a smash. So you just got to make sure you're not, cementing in, and you got to feel it out too. Brennan, appreciate you. Brennan, appreciate you being I noticed your name. I know you became a member of the fantasyfootballshow.com content recently too, so I appreciate you, my guy. Brennan says 10-man full PPR team is Burrow, CMC, Mixon, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Dotson, Hawkinsock, Hawkinsock, and Geno. Benches Deontay, James Cook, Judy, Pittman, Dulcich. This is also super fleet league. What should I do with this team? Burrow, CMC, Mixon, Diggs, Keenan Allen. I don't like Keenan Allen that much. I don't like Mixon that much. And I think potentially you could use this. And Deontay and James Cook and Judy and Pittman. Those are all guys I don't want. But that's okay. I think you're new to the channel. And I might be wrong. Doesn't mean it has to be my way. You got to do it your way too. This Hawkinsock character. If you like him, Go all in. But if this was my team, I would trade Mixon and Keenan Allen for one big monster, and you have a lot of depth to maybe make this happen. So Keenan Allen and Mixon, I could fix this team with 2 trades, and it would be a conglomerate. Mixon and Keenan Allen for Pollard. Mixon and Keenan Allen for Gibbs. Lock it in. Okay? Keenan Allen for Debo. If I've got to give up a Judy for free or a Pittman, I'm just going to do it. Then all of a sudden, this team's got CMC, Gibbs, Burrow, Diggs, Debo, Dotson, Hawkinson. And if you wanted, you could trade Hawkinson in and go, as we say, commando at tight end and figure out a way to get another like Walker or Hall into the mix and then bring in a Juwan Johnson and an Okonkwo to do the heavy lifting. Very, very good options on the table for you, and that team can be ratified in literally 1 or 2 moves. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. A.T. Taylor, appreciate your super chat, my man. Senior Rojo, appreciate yours. I'm going to put yours on screen, and then I'm going to help you in order in which they were received. J-Man, appreciate you. This one right here from let's see, let me get I don't think I put these on the screen here. Hold on. KB, overcome, drop Dion or MT for Roshan. I would drop either one for Roshan, but I suppose I'd keep MT over Dion on the off chance he does something. Mayo, appreciate your super chat again. Ian Atwell passed on Andrews in the 4th to grab Kenny Walker because I didn't want to miss out. My tight ends are Chigakonko, Komet. League still winnable in your opinion? Of course. And I love those tight ends in that tight end room, and I love the move. I would have done the exact same thing, Atwell. You did good. You did good, bro. Did real good. Appreciate you. Thank you for your super chat. Dre, appreciate you, Dre, with your super chat. And Overcome dropping that $20 hauler. I think I'm caught up on dragging the super chats on the screen. And then G Money coming in with yet another $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My main man, G Money. Spitty, if you go Kelsey. Oh, that was the old one. He still deserves it, though. Thank you for the super chat there, my guy. This is from Plays. Plays, appreciate you. G Money, appreciate you. And Avi, put yourself on mute if you would. I'm going to try and hammer through some of these super chats, and then I'll come to you. Raz, appreciate you. Okay, so these super chat, 12-team, 0.5 PPR keeper league from Cleveland. Round 8, Ramondre Stevenson. Round 12, Jahan Dotson. Round 13, Deshaun Watson. 14th round, Rashad White. Keeper league. Okay, 12-team. All right. I don't know what the question is here necessarily, but I mean, Ramondre's great keeper value. Round 8, that's fantastic. You're in Cleveland, so you like Deshaun Watson. Obviously, I'm not a big fan personally. Rashad White's good value. I think you could trade some of these guys away. Jahan Dotson's great value. The only two that I really, really love are the Ramondre and Dotson. I'd be tempted in a Cleveland area league to trade Watson, try and get yourself into a Justin Fields where I bet you everybody hates him. So I would try and maneuver that. I'd even give up Rashad White at his keeper value to get that done, to be quite frank with you. And I don't know what else we can help you, what I can help you with, but you can call back in just a little bit. Plays with the super chat here. 12-man PPR, 1 QB, 2 running back, or 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 3 flex. Josh Allen, J.J. Dotson, Elijah Moore, Sky Moore, Thielen, Dell, ETN, Hall, Walker, Algier. This is interesting because you got so many running backs and don't need to start them. I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing, though. I think people over-focus on, okay, if it's only 1 running back, then I don't want to draft running backs, when running backs are still extremely valuable, and sometimes they can score you a boatload of points and fall into the end zone to get guaranteed touches. So I don't hate this type of build at all. Plus, I love in a 2 wide receiver mandatory, you got JJ and Dotson locked in. And the fact that you have ETN, Hall, and Walker, you have a really, really good squad. How did I do, Smitty? What can you do to improve? I don't know that anything needs to be really done yet. I think I let these guys go out there and ball a little bit because you, like a lot of people, have built your teams around a lot of the Moon Men and Mars Men. The Moon Men and Mars Men are very young group of players that have a lot to prove, and a lot of people won't respect them. You probably got ranked really low in your league according to the format after the draft was over. That's a thing that happens with our group all the time. Ask the people last year that had Jalen Hurts as their quarterback, and the platforms ranked their team very bad because they didn't have a quarterback. Well, Jalen Hurts proved that wrong. Fields is going to prove him wrong. Dotson's going to prove him wrong. Walker, all these guys you got are going to prove everybody wrong. So maybe you go get Dalvin Cook, potentially through some sort of wide receiver trade. I don't know. Maybe you go trade. You could always trade Goddard and Dotson for a slightly better wide receiver. I mean, I think Dotson could actually hang with Debo, could actually hang with a couple guys. Maybe by midseason, people are not trading Dotson for Debo straight up. Debo could get hurt or something, but if you wanted to beef up and you felt better about having a bigger name in that wide receiver, Dotson slot, you could shop Goddard, and maybe you keep Dotson. Maybe you shop Goddard and I don't know, maybe Elijah Moore and Goddard get it done for a Ridley or a Debo, and then you just keep Dotson. I'd rather keep Dotson. I don't really want to trade Dotson. Dotson's one of my favorite wide receivers right now. $10 hauler from Dre. Thank you for the $10 hauler, Dre. Dre's super chat is as follows. Dre says, appreciate you. 12 team, 1 flex, had the 1.1. Danny Dimes, Pickett, Pierce, Skywalker, Javonte, Charbonnet, JJ, Olave, Ridley, Pickens, Quentin. I'm assuming that's Jameson Williams. Komet, Okonkwo. Any ideas? Well, I like some parts of the team. I like Pierce. I like Skywalker. I like Javonte. I like Charbonnet. I like JJ, Olave, Ridley. You got a fire wide receiver room. Pickens, unbelievable. JJ, Olave, Ridley, Pickens. Pearson, Skywalker, and Javonte, I'm okay with. The only thing I'm trying to do is upgrade Danny Dimes. And maybe the easiest way to do that, is wait. Let Danny Dimes go out there. Pickett should be pretty serviceable in a 2 QB league. He looks like he's hungry. We talk about that a lot with Pickens and how Pickett to Pickens is looking smooth. I don't mind that. I don't mind one of those guys as your second quarterback, but I would love to see you upgrade somehow. Pierce, Javonte, Skywalker, those are good RBs. You got it cuffed. Just wait and let some value gain, and Dre attack this when some quarterbacks have done badly. And every year, people will start off slow, my guy. And you'll be able to come in and maybe Fields has a bad week 1. Maybe Joe Burrow has a bad week 1. Maybe you can come in and trade Danny Dimes and potentially a Pickens who balls out, and you're so set at wide receiver you could afford to do it. Or maybe Quentin Johnson, maybe Keenan Allen gets injured and goes out there and has a touchdown at 50 yards, and everyone gets excited, and you can trade, Johnson and Danny Dimes for just a tiny T-Law upgrade because T-Law goes out and throws 2 interceptions. So I think your move is to wait. KB82, what are some wide receivers I can target in the 3rd and 4th round? 3rd round, Ridley. 3rd round, Olave if he's there. And the 3rd round has some other wide receivers that I don't mind taking there. Like, for example, maybe a Devontae Smith if he's there. DK Metcalf potentially, but I'd almost rather go RB Gibbs and then go Watson in round 4. I think round 4 is the better round. That's where Debo, that's where Watson, that's where DJ Moore is. I don't think I force those guys in 3 because you don't necessarily have to. You could scoop 2 of those guys up in 3 and 4, and I'd still be very comfortable with your wide receivers, but you got to be careful not to take DJ Moore in 3, take Watson in 3 when they're living in round 4, and you're just going to have a little bit lighter team when you look at your team on paper and say, where did I go wrong? Where did I reach a little too high? because those wide receivers should fall. So round 4 is more plentiful for wide receivers, but there are no dead zones this year. But, I would say that I enjoy the Jahmyr Gibbs and a couple other players more than those wide receivers in round 3, and then scoop one of them up in round 3. Flex, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back. Thanks again for your super chat. This one's from, I don't know who this is from. This is from 12 team. 12 team, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Burrow, Sanders, Herbert, B-Rob, Demont, Algier, Cup, Waddle, St. Brown, Sky Moore, Andrews. Trade for a running back. Help. Sanders and Monty are expendable for me. The fact that you have Waddle, St. Brown, and Cup, you're loaded at wide receiver. I would probably, if this were me, I'm scared of Cooper Kupp this year. I would trade Cooper Kupp and downgrade him into, and I would go to the Walker owner. I would go to the Hall owner. I would go to the Gibbs owner. And I'd ask them, or I'd look at their team and I'd say, what wide receiver does this person have that is completely underrated, like Debo or Watson or London? And if you could get a Walker in London for Cooper Kupp, I would smash it. If you could get, let's say, a DJ Moore, who's a 4th rounder, and Walker, who's a 4th, 5th rounder, for Cooper Kupp, who is a top 5 or 6 overall player, keep that in mind, I would smash it. I would turn Cooper Kupp into 2 players, using the anchor as the running back, then finding a team that has the anchor I want that also has the wide receiver that makes sense for that. That's how I would fix that team, and I'd fix it in one trade. J-Man, appreciate you with the $5 12-man full PPR QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, and tight end of flex. Jackson, Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, Javonte, Cooper Kupp, St. Brown, Mark Andrews, London. And that other guy had Andrews as well. You could go the Andrews route. You could trade Andrews away. Maybe go to the Waller owner and see if they've got a player that makes sense in that trade down. Mark Andrews, London bench. JSN, fantastic bench player. I love JSN right now. Jalen Warren's crafty. He's like a poor man's Pollard. Tank Bigsby's really, really good. This team right here with the Jackson, Breece Hall, Javonte, Kupp, St. Brown, Andrews, London's pretty solid. There's nothing really I think I would do until they played out, because Javonte's got to gain value. Breece has got to gain value. Cooper Kupp is, people are a little bit hesitant, but I would do the same move if you could do it. I would trade Cooper Kupp for Kenneth Walker and London. I would trade Cooper Kupp, who's number 5 or 6 overall. Let's not pretend he can't get you 2 third-round players. He can. And so if you are a 3rd rounder and a 4th rounder, Watson and a Gibbs, it's doable. You know, if the person doesn't value Gibbs, we wouldn't do it. But I see trades like this all the time, and if you don't shoot high, I'm doing you a disservice to not try and go get the most bang for your buck. You might have to dial the trade offer down. But Walker's going in round 4 or 5. Watson's going in 4. You're telling me you can't get 2 4th rounders for Cooper Kupp? I would do that trade in a heartbeat. I think that trade solves a lot of people's problems, to be honest. Senior Rojo, I got 2 more super chats. I'm going to go back to the phone line. Senior Rojo, I have Burrow 4th round. I've got Derek Carr last pick. I could drop Carr, pick up Love, but also some idiot dropped Khalil Herbert. Waivers clear Friday. I'm 5th. I like Khalil Herbert, but I do enjoy a little Jordan Love action on this team, I think, bro. But I guess I would put a claim in for both. I don't know if your claims allow you to do that. I think Khalil Herbert is a steal, but I also think Jordan Love is going to ball out. But I think Carr is underrated as well. If it's me, and this is a 1 QB league, and I assume it is, because if it's a super flex, I'm grabbing both of them. And I don't think anybody's cutting those. Maybe you ask yourself, because you got Burrow, you know, Carr is really good. And if you don't get Jordan Love, then so be it. You got Carr. But could Khalil Herbert help you out more and give you that support you need? If he could, if you're more in dire need of an RB, maybe you grab Herbert, you let it ride with Jordan Love, and you try and pick up both, but you make sure you get Herbert. That might be the way to go, because if this is a 1 QB league, Carr is good enough. I do want Jordan Love, but it's close enough to where I think I'd let that one ride, hopefully get it done as my second claim, but maybe Herbert you put on your bench, you grab him. So I'm going to go ahead and say, final answer, go get Khalil Herbert. A.T. Taylor, appreciate you. $5 hauler. Sit on these guys or upgrade. 12-team PPR. You've got Burrow, Pollard, Jacobs, JJ, Mike Evans, Elijah Moore, Schultz, benches, Dotson, Javonte, Johnston, Tony. I'm trading Jacobs, and I'm going after players that are ranking below him. I would literally trade him straight up for Kenneth Walker if I had to, but you could probably even get more. I'd trade him straight up for Breece Hall, even if Breece Hall starts off a little slow. And I want to get more in that case, though, because he has lower value by a significant amount. I'm very, very interested in going after Ramondre for Jacobs. I'm very interested in getting, as I said, I'd take Gibbs straight up. In a crafty way, I'd take Pacheco and Debo or something as a two-player combo for Josh Jacobs. You could almost treat Josh Jacobs in the similar fashion that I told you to go trade Cooper Kupp and get a Watson and Walker. You know, 2 fourth-round players for Cooper Kupp, very attainable. Even though in our minds we're like, you can't get that. Yeah, you can. You can get 2 fourth-round players for a top 5 overall pick. You could trade Tyreek Hill, or you could trade Cooper Kupp, or you could trade anybody like Eckler that is a top 5 player and easily go get 2 fourth-round players. They're just more than fourth-round players to us, so it sounds like it's too good to be true. I think you could do the same thing, but in a more watered-down fashion for Jacobs. I think you could go target Debo as your anchor, and in this case, you go after the wide receiver and see what running backs they have. Maybe he's got Pierce, Debo and Pierce. Maybe Watson's your anchor. Maybe London's your anchor. And then you go and find another RB that makes sense. Pacheco, go to the Pacheco owner, because honestly, Pacheco and McKinnon are going to be so crafty as a running back 2 in fantasy football. And if you get a Debo on top of that, smash. And I'd probably look to maybe trade later once Javonte's earned his value. Actually, you could even put Javonte, you know what? You could even put Javonte into your lineup, take Jacobs, trade him straight up for a wide receiver that we love. Trade Jacobs straight up for Garrett Wilson. Probably not going to happen, but try. Sometimes Garrett Wilson falls into the bottom of 2. Sometimes Jacobs gets taken in the late second. So let's not pretend that can't happen. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, maybe even Ridley straight up. Jacobs for Debo and a Pacheco still, even if you're going to use Javonte. That's what I would do with that team. All right, let me go back over to Okafor. Okafor, what else you got going on, bro?
Nothing much. I gotta help another friend draft in a couple of minutes. Like I gotta get prepared for that.
All right.
But nothing but the. I'm about to like hop off real quick. But nothing but just the Roschon thing. Just watch out, because I think he's already taken like third down snaps.
Who?
So if they look at him like Roschon.
Yeah, I mean that's why I say Khalil Herbert's a midseason monster, because there's a potential that he doesn't have the full grip of the job, and that's why I say Roschon is an absolute must cuff. Absolute must cuff.
Well, you think like Khalil Herbert's gonna be so good he's just gonna take over like everything?
Well, what makes you think he's not capable of it? Why do you say it like it's such an odd thing when he was the leading yards per carry running back in the National Football League last year, bro?
Because Roschon is like, he has the prototypical size.
I'm not disagreeing
with you. And when you watch this man work on the field, he just looks like he's the most talented.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I wouldn't say he's the most talented running back in the field yet. I think Khalil Herbert is. But could Roschon become a better fit for the offense and what they want to do? Maybe. But Khalil Herbert was the number 1 running back in the National Football League in yards per carry, bro. Number 1.
Yeah, like,
that's not.
Maybe he doesn't like take everything over, but I imagine him like eating enough snaps for him to be a headache. I don't know like how quick like. I imagine there's going to be some kind of split. I don't know like what Foreman's going to get. I don't know how they're going to split the carries.
Russian collusion.
But maybe Foreman.
Russian collusion. Russian collusion dropping 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, Russian. All right, Okafor, good luck with your draft. Make sure you understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they're a must cuff. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Roschon isn't a league winner. Roschon's got league winning potential. Khalil Herbert's got league winning potential. This offense is completely undervalued and underrated. The starting running back in Chicago could be a really, 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 really productive running back. And they may or may not running back by committee this thing. And if they don't, then someone's going to the moon. And I think that it's just important to have them both because there's no answer. I wish I could tell you it was Khalil Herbert, but I can't. I wish I could tell you it was Roschon Johnson, but I can't. Roschon's a bigger running back than Bijan. He's got a lot of nice skills. He's a good player. He catches the football well. They drafted him for a reason. But again, Khalil Herbert led the NFL in yards per carry, and he just showed you in a preseason game why he's so electric and good. Khalil Herbert is a monster. Tackle breaking machine, yards per carry monster, touchdown, nose for the end zone. He's going to be good. Okafor, good luck in your draft, pal.
All right.
All right, later. This one here, Ken says, thoughts on DJ Moore in redraft 0.5 PPR. Love him as a 4th or 5th round pick. Don't take him earlier than that, but I do think he is low end, talking like 12, wide receiver 12, wide receiver 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 type of value. And so I do love DJ Moore. When I draft fields, a lot of the time I do like to put them together because it's fun, but in non-best ball, it doesn't really get you any points. Sometimes it can hamper you too. But in that case, I think it'll be good. I think Fields will lean upon him. I think that I smashed my draft low-key. I had the 7th overall pick. Hill, Tyreek Hill, Bijan, Olave, Ridley, Justin Herbert, Kmet, James Cook, Dobbins, Anthony Richardson, Zeke, Laporta, Deion Jackson, Smith-Njigba. I love Smith-Njigba on the bench. Every time I see that, it makes me smile. Okay, Hill, Bijan, Olave. You crush it. You crush it. You crush your draft. I absolutely love it. You know, I would have taken Fields or Burrow if they're there over Herbert, but that's neither here nor there. And James Cook's got good trade value, I think. Dobbins, I don't want anything to do with. I would trade Cook and Dobbins for one slightly better running back, and you could just go down an ADP list and say, who is that? What running back could that be? Maybe the person that has this running back is really thin at RB. And, you know, J.K. Dobbins is below Pierce. He's below Walker. He's below Aaron Jones. He's below Breece Hall. Like, I would start there, see if I can get something like that done. If not, walk on over to the wide receiver position. And the ADP of J.K. Dobbins is 65. So you go over to wide receiver or go to the 65 overall territory, and you see, Pickens is there. J.K. for Pickens straight up. I would do that. You could probably give up both those guys and get a Hopkins, get a London, get a Christian Watson, maybe a DJ Moore. So. And JSN's going to get into your lineup eventually, so you need to make room for him anyway. So that's why I kind of lean RB. But your team is straight fire. You did a great job. Appreciate your super chat. $5 hauler, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver flex. Burrow, Sanders, Herbert, B-Rob, D. Monty, Algier, Gainwell, Cooper Kupp, Waddle, St. Brown, Sky Moore. Did I already do this one? Trade for a running back. I think I did. Yeah, I already did this one. This is the one where you said help, thoughts. And I said Sanders. So Burrow, you're good. Sanders and D. Monty, one or both those guys. But I think this is the one where I said trade Cooper Kupp. Go get those 2 players. The Cooper Kupp advice applies here. But it's got to be 2 really good players. But it could be 2 players that we think are way better than 3rd and 4th round value guys. Ridley and Pacheco for Cooper Kupp. You know, McKinnon as well. Like something like that. Or Walker and London. You know, that's so doable for Cooper Kupp. What are some wide receivers I can target in the 3rd and 4th round? I got that one already taken care of. Appreciate you. Again, 3rd and 4th round, Watson, Ridley, Olave if he falls. Debo is one of my favorites right now in round 4. Drop Dion or MT for Roschon. Already got that one out of the way. Appreciate that. And I said go get Roschon, drop Dion, keep MT. Atwell, I think already got Atwell's passed on Andrews in the 4th. I agreed with you. I would have done what you did. Dre, I think I took care of Dre. Thomas, I think I took care of Thomas already. Thomas said 10-team, 2 PPR, Tua, Kupp, Lamb, Waddle, Gibbs, Walker, Okonkwo, Kincaid. Maybe I didn't do this one. Do I need to trade for a tight end? I like Kincaid, but you do need another tight end in case he's slow starting, and you've got one, Okonkwo. So I'm fine with that. Maybe Okonkwo fails. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. He costs you very little. I would roll Okonkwo out there until we know what Kincaid is, unless we're feeling really comfortable in week 1 for some reason on Kincaid. We'll have to see when we get there. But I don't trust your starting quarterback staying healthy. And Tua, I like the Gibbs, Waddle, Lamb, Cup, Walker combo, and I don't necessarily think you need to make any moves there, but I would definitely search the waiver wire. Make sure Jordan Love's not out there. Make sure you secure up and button up the quarterback room because you might be looking at a potential time where you don't have a quarterback. Vinny, 10-team standard, Mahomes, Gibbs, Breece, Javonte, Swift, Hill, London, JSN, Gabe Davis, Pittman, Kelsey. Thoughts on my situation, your running back situation? I think I addressed this one. Your running back situation is straight fire. Gibbs, Breece, Javonte, Swift. You don't have to do a single thing there. And nor can you because they're all risers and you can't get the value you need in a trade anyway. To have Kelsey and this group, Mahomes and Kelsey, and to have all of these wide receivers and running backs is straight a mockery you made of those people in that draft. Carl, I have the 6th pick at a 10-team full PPR. If Hill and Kelsey falls, do I go Kelsey or Bijan? Do I go Hill, Kelsey, or Bijan? I would go Bijan or Kelsey over Hill. I would go probably Bijan personally if it's one league. If you've already got a lot of Bijan shares, then try the Kelsey approach out. I've got a video on it about, 9, 10, 11, 5, 15 videos ago. It's how to dominate a draft with Travis Kelsey in round 1. So go look up that video if you've got Bijan shares already. If you don't have Bijan shares, you want on this train. So I would take Bijan. But all three of those options are great. 12-team PPR, T-Law, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Gibbs, ETN, Waller, Swift, Bench, Judy, Burks, D. Harris, Elliott, Dulcich, and Deuce Vaughn. I think I already got to this one, but I'll answer it again and just say Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, Gibbs. You can't really get any better than that. And to have ETN fall to that 4th drafted player, to get Waller, to get Swift, to get T-Law is unbelievable. The only thing I'm looking to do is trade Judy. Judy had 4th round value. I don't know what his value is anymore. I would never take Jerry Judy even near the 4th round. And part of me wonders if you can go get those Debo Samuel types. I honestly would rather have Pacheco and McKinnon together as a safeguard running back option than have Jerry Judy. I'd rather have a player like Kamara, who's out 3 weeks, and maybe you offer Judy for Kamara, Judy and Burks for Kamara, and the owner's freaking out about, I shouldn't have got Kamara because he's out 3 weeks, and now I'm a little bit having buyer's remorse. That might be a move you can make. Let's go over to Avi, Avi, then Scuba, the Bruce. I'm sorry, the Bruce has been waiting longer. Then I'll go to Avi, then I'll go to Scuba Steve. The Bruce, what is up, my guy?
Hey, Smitty.
What's up, Bruce?
I got a question on my team and how I could improve it because I made a boo-boo.
What'd you do? What'd you
my
do,
quarterbacks are Aaron Rodgers and Trevor Lawrence. Now, here's where the boo-boo is. I drafted JT and Kamara. I have Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, and P. Ryan from Denver. And my receivers are Cooper Kupp and Garrett Wilson, Kadarius Toney, Jahan Dotson, and MT. And my tight end's Cole Kmet. What do you think I should do?
Read that one more time, Bruce. And Daniel, and all these guys on here, I'm going to come back for your super chat next. Don't worry. Okay, give me your team one more time. Read it off as fast as you can.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, JT, Alvin Kamara, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, Sammy P. Ryan, Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, Kadarius Toney, Jahan Dotson, MT, and Cole Kmet.
Okay. Superflex, you said?
Yeah, it's 2 quarterbacks.
Okay, so your quarterback room is amazing. I love your Kamara potential later. Dotson, Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, Dotson. This is obviously the concern here. You drafted this guy, and we don't know what he's going to get you. I don't sell him for pennies on the dollar. You're better off. Letting it ride than to get rid of him for pennies on the dollar. I think my advice to all those Cooper Kupp owners still stands for you. If you go ahead and try and find a player like Watson or Debo or London or Ridley or even DJ Moore as examples as your anchor of a trade, then you just comb through those rosters and you say, who can I put with Debo on this guy's roster? And maybe he doesn't have anybody, so then you gotta write the Debo owner off. But let's say you go to the Debo owner and you say Debo, and he's got Pierce. Then you gotta weigh that out and say, is that worth it to trade Cooper Kupp for Debo and Pierce? May or may not be. I don't know if I would reach higher than that. Maybe the Debo owner has a player like, let's see if there's a 5th round running back I can kind of pop on here and just see. Maybe you actually go after the RB first. So go to the Walker owner and see if the Walker owner has a wide receiver at least in like the 4th or 5th round territory, which would put you at London. It would put you at DJ Moore. It would put you at maybe a Dotson, and you have Dotson, but like that. So I would say like a DJ Moore or a London. Walker, DJ Moore, London, something like that. I think Cooper Kupp can get you that. That would probably tide you over. You could also just wait because you do have Javonte. You have Miles Sanders, who I would probably trade. Maybe you can trade Dotson and Miles Sanders for a Kenneth Walker or something like that. But you do have Javonte and Miles to tie you over until Kamara gets back and JT gets back. But if you come out of week number 4 and you're 2-2, then you got a shot. You just need JT to be healthy. But the news today wasn't good on JT because it was more he had, reported foot issues. We don't know if that was fabricated to just get put on the PUP. But that might be one reason why a lot of trades didn't go down. That's what I was saying the other day.
Yeah, I drafted right before the news of he was hurt, and then when I drafted him and he was hurt, I put my head down. I was like, I got one hurt and one on suspension.
Yeah. All right, Brucey. Hang tight. I'm gonna have to cycle everybody out the phone lines because I got too many super chats to get to, and I don't want to leave anybody that dropped one hanging. So I'm gonna open the phone line again later if I can. So, Brucey, any final thoughts?
Everyone has a good year and good luck to everybody. And I'm gonna do what you said with Cooper Kupp. I might even here's a thing.
Run it by me though.
Run
it by me though, Brucey. Don't go doing something and then later on I say that's not what I want to hear it. Well,
that's what I'm gonna ask you. Since it's 2 quarterback and I only have 2, you think I should go to the Love owner and try to get Love and something for Kupp?
No, because you have 2 quarterbacks. You only need 2 quarterbacks. I wouldn't go. You need to worry about your running back room.
Okay.
Yeah, your quarterbacks are fine. All right, Bruce. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Yep.
All right, Avi, got to make it quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can call back if we open the phone lines again.
Yeah, no, I got a quick question. It's early, but for week 1, do I start Swift or Zay Flowers?
Boy.
So I don't really got any other. I got Kamara suspended. I would be playing.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I would probably lean Zay Flowers initially until we see what the role of Swift looks like. But they like Swift a lot, but I just maybe want to see it because Zay's going to be utilized. They love Zay. He's so impossible to guard. I think you're safer with Zay. High risk, high reward play Swift. The only thing that concerns me, and maybe we readdress this. I don't want to lock this in. Too early. So bring it back. But like the thing that concerns me about not starting Swift is what if he has that like 2 touchdown game or something, and it's like, oh my God, this offensive line is so good, and Swift takes 2 to the house on 5 carries or something, or a reception.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that could happen with Zay too. He could catch a ball and defender could fall down and Zay could go 99 yards, but I don't know. Let's revisit that one. Too early for that, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
All right, later, Avi.
All right.
Let's go, David, real quick. David, let me know what you got, and then I got to jump.
Thanks, Smitty. I was trying to get a quick idea, and I know you don't have long to talk. I'm trying to make a trade with the Fields owner, or not the Fields owner, the Hurts. He's got Hurts, and he's got JJ and Breece, which I'm wanting. I have AJ Brown. He's not really too happy with his team, so I was trying to offer a trade and it's not, other players that you might think would work. But I was thinking his JJ and Breece Hall for my A.J. Brown, Damian Pierce, and Deontay Johnson.
Let me put that on the board. I'm coming for these super chats in 1 second, guys. Don't think I'm not going to get to your super chat. Hit me with it one more time, bro.
His JJ and Breece for my A.J. Brown, Damian Pierce, and Deontay Johnson. And he's got Jalen Hurts. I'm just trying to get JJ and Breece. And he's got Godwin, Pollard, Ramondre. So, I mean, it's not the strongest.
A.J. Brown, Deontay, and who?
Damian Pierce.
Okay. Yeah, I smashed the hell out of that, bro. For number one, I want Hall over Pierce, and I want JJ over A.J. Brown and Deontay Johnson combined by 1,000 miles. So like this is like one of those veto police trades.
Yeah, I don't know. He's the commish too, so I don't know if he'll take it. So
I don't think he will.
Of some of the other guys.
I think it's fun to look at, but I don't know that it's. I mean, he might just laugh at you. He might say, "I wouldn't give you JJ for all that." You know what I mean? And I wouldn't blame him if he said that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I got Walker too.
This is a pipe dream.
Ridley.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to really give up that much though.
Yeah, it's a pipe dream, but you could try it. You never know, bro. I highly doubt this gets done in a sane world anyway. All right, bro. David, keep trying it. We'll cook something up. Call back if I open the phone lines again, and we'll
definitely
dial up again. Okay. All right, later. Scuba Steve, I got to make it quick and snappy, pal.
Hey, Smitty, I was going to read you off my team, but I can hang up and just wait till you open up the phone lines again. That way I can help you. Okay. You can help me dissect my team if that's
okay. All right, later, Scuba. Appreciate you. Isaac.
Yeah, no problem.
Isaac, make it snappy.
Hey man, I'm in the same boat. I'll call back, but I do want to say from yesterday's show, you're totally right about Cup. I've passed on him. I probably have 30 Underdog Fantasy promo code Schmitty drafts, and I've completely avoided him. But yeah, I'll call back with my squad.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Later.
All right, brother.
Daniel Valencia. Daniel Valencia. I like how I'm just making things up. $10 super chat. 10 team 5 pick 5 super flex PPR Burrow Howell. Daniel, you're still here, bro, right? I'm sorry you've been waiting for this one. Daniel, appreciate you. 10 team pick 5 super flex PPR Burrow Howell. So crafty Howell, it's not for everybody. It's risky. You got Pickett though. Pickett and Howell and Burrow, you're pretty good there. Gibbs, Breece Hall in round 5, good. Pacheco, McKinnon, smart man, cuffing. You're listening. You're taking it in, Daniel. And then you've got Tyreek Hill, CD, Ayuk, Judy, Dobbs, Waller. Okay, you got a really good team. Won 2 years ago, came in second last year. That's why you're drafting a great squad. Would I trade Dobbs or Judy to upgrade Howell a tiny bit to a T-Law? That would probably be my focus. Hill, CD, maybe Ayuk and Dobbs, or Ayuk and Judy to upgrade your Ayuk spot a little bit. Ayuk and Judy could maybe get you, if I had to guess, maybe I doubt a Ridley. You could try maybe a Debo. Ayuk and Judy for Debo. I think that's doable for Watson, London, and I would do all those. I would trade Ayuk and Judy for that. That'd probably be where I go with that, bro. Good squad. Other than that, you just wait and let it play out. Appreciate you for being patient, my guy. Okay. At 5 spots, should I take Bijan, Pollard, Gibbs? I would take... Well, you can't take Gibbs at the 5 spot, bro. What are we doing there? Are there keepers or something? Like, how is that... this must be like a keeper question, because Pollard goes in like the 12, 13, 14 overall territory. Gibbs goes in the 3rd round, and Bijan's in our top 5. The answer is Bijan, but I'm interested in the details of that, to be honest. 12 team, thank you for the super chat, Jedi. 12 team.5 keeper league from Cleveland. I already got to that one. Appreciate you with your super chat. Ozzy, I think I might have gotten to this one. Bijan, Wilson, Ridley, Walker, Waller, T-Law, Pickens, Swift, Dotson, Charbonnet. Please rate. Also, would you try and package to get Fields or Burrow? Maybe I didn't see this one. Ozzy, you still here? Bijan, Wilson, Ridley, Walker, Waller, T-Law, Pickens, Swift, Dotson, Charbonnet. Very good. Fields, Burrow. I mean, to get Fields or Burrow, you're going to have to give up something big, bro. Maybe Waller and T-Law go commando at tight end. That's the only thing I can see, really. I mean, you could give up Swift, you could give up Pickens, you could give up Dotson with T-Law to upgrade to Fields or Burrow. But that's it. You can't give Ridley, you can't give Wilson, you can't give Bijan, you can't give Walker. It's Waller and T-Law for Fields. It's Pickens and T-Law for Fields. It's Swift and T-Law for Fields. It's Dotson and T-Law for Fields. And I don't know that I love that in every one of those instances. I would try and attack that Waller situation probably most. Dalton, thank you, Ozzy. Appreciate you. Dalton, $10 hauler, $10 haulers.
To the moon.
Get a moonshot, my man. Dalton, 14-teamer. Those are tough. This is going to be harder for people to handle here because it's 14-teamer. PPR had the 12th pick, got Rodgers. So this has got to be a super flex. Bijan, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Ridley, Dotson, Kincaid. Or no, you're just probably telling me your team, not in order. It's 14-team non-super flex. You just have quarterback Rodgers. Okay, this is not in order. Bijan, Gibbs, Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Ridley, Dotson, Kincaid. Bro, it looks like a 10-man league. You absolutely smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. Breece Hall on the bench. Get out of here at 14 teams. This ain't no 14-team grandma league, bro. This is a 12-grandma league. Can Kincaid be serviceable as a tight end one? Absolutely, but you probably want to have somebody that you could run out there in week one in case he's not ready, because he might not be. This is a guy that's going to get cut in a lot of drafts if he goes out in week one and drops an egg. Then everybody's going to say, holy crap. Everybody's going to say, holy crap, bro. And they're going to cut him, and we're all going to scoop him up left and right. Morty, $5 hauler, 12-team Superflex. Allen, Josh Allen, Jordan Love the quarterbacks in a Superflex. Bijan, Walker, Swift, amazing running back room. Herbert, Wilson, Pickens, JSN, Waller, love it. Should I trade for Charbonnet, tight cap, bench running back spot? Yes, I would, and honestly, I don't know that you're going to be able to do it, though, because, like, what are you going to give up, man? I'm not trading, like, JSN or Pickens for him. This is one of those things where, like, it's a must-have, Morty. You got to get the Charbonnet, because now it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and I don't, of the list of players here, like, Smith, yeah, I don't know that you can. You know what? It would probably be the weak point here. The place I would maybe go at. I'm not getting rid of Pickens. I'm not getting rid of JSN, bro. I'm not getting rid of, Swift for Charbonnet and somebody. But, Waller for Charbonnet and somebody. Those are your only points of entry. You can't divide up anything else to try and make up for that situation. You can't. You can only go with Swift, and you've got to get Charbonnet and something. Waller, you gotta get Charbonnet and something. Go after Cook stack, being Breece owner. It's not a must, but it's very comfortable. It helps you. But if you're building a great running back stable where you don't necessarily need it, like you've got Kamara, you've got Pacheco, you've got Swift, and then you've got Bijan and Hall or something crazy like that. Or even if we dumb it down a little and you got Hall, Bijan, Pacheco, Kamara, like you'll probably be fine, But do I like Cook? I do, but it costs you a lot. You can lose a Dotson having to draft a Cook. So that's why I typically draft a Pickens or a Dotson, and I lose out on Cook. And I'm okay because I don't know that Cook is he's important, but I don't know if I feel like it's Charbonnet important, because I believe Breece Hall is not relinquishing that job. And Cook is older, shoulder issue, hasn't been able to practice until just recently, and who knows what he's even getting to do right now. He's the one that's injured. Breece Hall's the one out there looking amazing. and everybody's and they have a really rough schedule. So to start off the year, so they're gonna just let Cook take a lot of that brute force, hit type stuff, and keep Hall, moving along slowly. QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back. Slowly means 12 carries or whatever, and he's going to be efficient, so it's going to be fine. Hurts, running backs are Sanders, Herbert, Kamara, Mostert, kind of rough. Wide receivers are Chase, Olave, Lockett, Dotson, pretty good. Trade Hurts and Sanders for Burrow and Andrews. Smash it. Smash it. Absolute smash. Hurts and Sanders for Burrow and Andrews. I take that to the bank.
You've just been Smitty.
And when I say I take that to the bank, I mean the Burrow Andrews side, in case there's some confusion or something like that. Collusion dropped some 20, 25, something like that, gifted memberships earlier. Collusion, I appreciate you. Collusion, gifted memberships, subscribe. Thank you, Collusion, for also dropping the $10 hauler. I very much appreciate you. Keys, $10 hauler, $10 haulers from Collusion.
To the moon.
$10 hauler from Keys.
To the moon.
Keys says the following: my second year playing, getting clowned on by my picks, Tua, B-Rob, B. Robinson. So Bijan Robinson and B-Rob. You get the double Bs. The Adams, Mike Thomas, Kittle, Higgins situation. I mean, I don't think you did horrible. I don't like Tua because I think he doesn't stay healthy. I don't like B-Rob at all. I love Bijan Robinson. I'm avoiding Devontae Adams like the plague because of that offense and situation and Jimmy Garoppolo. Higgins is not my favorite, third rounder, really. So I don't know why someone would be clowning on your picks, but I do think there's some room to maneuver here. Adams, kind of a second round value, bro. I'd rather have Ridley and a running back. Maybe go to the Walker, the Breece Hall owners, the Pacheco McKinnon owner, and you have Jerick McKinnon, so great. So go to the Pacheco owner, and I'm not saying to trade Adams for Pacheco. Listen to what I'm saying here. If the Pacheco owner has a Ridley, then I'm getting Pacheco and Ridley for Devontae Adams. If the Pacheco owner has an Olave, I'm going and getting Olave and Pacheco. If the Breece Hall owner has Watson, I'm going and getting Breece Hall and Watson for Devontae Adams. Things like that. But they have to be the right combinations. But that's how you slowly but surely start fixing that team. And when I say fix, I don't think you botched it. It's just, is it the best team in the league? I don't think so, but could it get there in a trade or two? Sure. I think I smashed my draft low-key. I had the 7 overall pick, Hill, Bijan, Olave, Ridley, Herbert, Kmet, James Cook, Dobbins. I may have gotten to this one already, and I said trade James Cook and Dobbins together is what I recommended for Ivy. James Cook and Dobbins together for one player. And all you got to do is go to James Cook's ADP and Dobbins' ADP and just look for a couple players slightly above. Those 2 for Debo for a team that maybe has Debo but didn't do well at running back. That might be a saving grace for them. That's how I try and fix that squad. And let me hit these super chats that just came in, and I think we'll be caught up. Dan Valencia dropping another one. Patrick dropping another one. Oscar, appreciate you, Oscar, dropping your super chat. Let me go ahead and plug these on the screen here. Overcome with another one. KJ dropping a super chat. Morty, thank you again, Morty, for your super chat. Thank you, Dalton. Thank you, Lexus. Did I get Lexus's super chat? Yes, that was that trade. That was a fantastic trade. I think I've got all the super chats on screen, I believe. So let me put these here in the corner. And let's start answering these, and then we'll open up the phone line. So if anybody else has a super chat, I will answer them in the order in which they're received here. Dan Valencia, 10 team, pick 10, PPR. CD, AJ Brown. That's kind of a double decker. That's good. Diggs, okay, you must add a keeper or something. CD Lamb, AJ Brown, Diggs, and Adams are available. Oh, I thought that was your team. Should I still go Wilson, Amon-Ra back-to-back? Dan, I thought you were giving me your team. This is what I'll tell you.
The double-decker, pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting both Amon-Ra St. Brown Garrett Wilson back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2. The double-decker.
I like that combo. But I will say CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown and Diggs are all very, very close. These are a tight-knit group. And that's what I want. I want those two guys, but that's me. If you want Diggs and A.J. Brown, that's understandable, bro. There's nothing wrong with Diggs and A.J. Brown. It's very, very, very close. In fact, probably safer in some circles, and I can get behind that. I can understand that. I don't necessarily disagree with anybody that says, I'd rather go CeeDee Lamb and Diggs. I can get behind that. And I've done it before. I've done double-deckers with those guys. I don't always draft Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson. $20 hauler from Top Gun.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$50 hauler from Hav. Geez, dropping his 50 watt on screen. Appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
Super chat alert. Hob G says, prayers up for the Navy family. It's draft season. The dopest fantasy football show on the airwaves. In the IG chat is a great place to be. Thanks for everything, Smitty. Thank you, Hob G's. Appreciate you, my guy. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, pal. Top Gun with a super chat. Hey, Smitty, I think I messed up by not drafting Gibbs, Swift, or Pickett.
Motion detected at the front door.
I don't know if you mean Pickett or Pickens. 10-team PPR. My team is Burrow, Chase, Olave, Ridley. First of all, you can't start off with that 4 and mess up. I love it. Zay Flowers, love him. Tony, love him. Hall, love him. Walker, love him. Charbonnet, Yakufta, Walker, love it. Kamara, love it. Love everything about your team. And I'm not trading a single one of them. This is a Smitty-built team. Love your team. Love it, bro. Absolutely. Chase, Olave, Ridley, Burrow, Walker, Hall, you cuffed Charbonnet, Camaro in the wings waiting. The only thing you don't have is JSN. You know, something that I'll be like, you get JSN, and then I just kind of fall down on the floor. Like, what do you mean you messed up? I don't understand what you mean you messed up. I may have messed up by not drafting Gibbs, Swift, or Pickett. Look, it's a good team, bro. I imagine you took Ridley or Olave, probably Ridley over Gibbs, and that's okay because Ridley's going to be potentially a top 5 wide receiver. I don't ever want to hear you apologize for drafting a top 1 to 2 team in your draft ever again, because that's an absolute beast of a team, bro. Unbelievable. Harrison says, I think you missed my super chat, brother. Okay, let me try and find it. Harrison Smith. Harrison. I got it on screen, Harrison. Hopefully this is it. And yeah, it is. Okay. Let me go over this one real quick. Thank you for the super chat. I apologize if I did end up missing you. This one here, Harrison, what do you think 10-man? Burrow, Rodgers, Chubb, Gibbs, Dobbins, Swift. Love the running backs. Kelsey, wide receivers are Waddle, Hopkins, Mike Williams. Very, very good team. 10-man. I don't think this is super flex. If it is, you have 2 amazing quarterbacks. But if it's 1 QB, it's still great. You have a great team. Chubb, Gibbs, Dobbins. I'd keep Swift as my running back 3. And I'd trade Dobbins and Waddle for like a Garrett Wilson or St. Brown. I would trade Dobbins and Hopkins for a similar move. Mike Williams and Dobbins for Debo. Mike Williams and Dobbins for Walker or I think I'd probably stay wide receiver. Mike Williams and Dobbins for Ridley. Those are all moves I would make. That's where your weak point is, I think, or your trade point. So, excellent job, bro. Excellent job. Michael dropping a $10 hauler and AMG dropping a $20 hauler on screen. Thank you very much, both of you gentlemen. Let's give AMG a super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My main man, AMG. I don't know why I can't read that. I want to say AGM. Like that's that dyslexic stuff, kicking in. I cannot say AMG. I can't do. My mind slows down to a crawl. It's like kryptonite. AMG. I want to say AGM. I don't know why. Hey, Smitty, it's Tony. Can I call in and go over the team I just drafted on the board? Yeah, buddy. Can you hang tight in just for a minute? I got Dakota Dave calling in. Dakota, you're calling more than Miss Smitty right now. What can I do for you? Are you okay? Is this an emergency, Dakota? Do you have a flat tire?
No,
I'm
sorry about that, man. I wasn't going through it at all.
No, it's right. Hey, what can I help you with? Be quick about it, and I'm going to shut the phone line back down, and then I'm going to come back and open it up. But let me know, and let me help you real quick. I'm just joking.
Yeah, if you remember, I crushed my draft. I was so busy loading up my bench, I forgot to get a backup QB, and I was wondering. I'd hate to drop somebody. Wasn't sure how you feel about that. Love is available. I thought Pickett looked fantastic in the preseason, so I was just curious in general. What
I don't
you think
mind
about a backup QB.
Bro, I could get, as much as I love Jordan Love, I could get behind someone saying I want Pickett right now. Pickett looks good. He looks really good. That offense looks good. I know Ron's probably pretty excited that the Pittsburgh Steelers look like they're going to – this will be a tough week one matchup between the Niners and the Steelers. Two really good defenses too, so hopefully the offenses can even move the ball.
Do you think what's your general opinion on having a backup on the bench?
You gotta
versus no backup.
There's a video. I haven't done it yet. I have it written down here. The importance of the backup quarterback. It's a vital thing. Why? Because if your starter goes down, are you gonna miss a beat or not? And if you aren't prepared and you lose your league because you didn't have a backup quarterback, you're going to be pissed off. The next year, you'll never do it again. You'll learn your lesson. But I'm the kind of guy, and it's funny because there's another channel in this expert league that we do where he clowns on me like over and over because I'll draft 3 quarterbacks in a 1 QB league, and he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And he goes, Smitty, this is a guy that drafts 3 quarterbacks in a 1 QB league. Like there are rules to it, number one. And number two, I make a living off of trading quarterbacks when I find somebody that's in dire need, and I see the value of a Jordan Love and an Aaron Rodgers as my 2 backup quarterbacks, and I'm not really missing out on a whole lot, in my opinion, by bringing those guys into my QB room. So you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna promote 3 quarterbacks in a 1 QB league. It's hilarious that people think that that's some kind of like misstep. Like, it's opinion. First of all, a lot of this is just opinion-based strategy, but like to literally not see the value in the ability to trade a QB needy team, even in a 1 QB, 12 team. Now 10 team is harder, but in a 12 team league, is yours 10 or 12?
10.
So you're going to have a lot easier time. I don't know. I think I told you this. My advice stands. If you've got to cut someone significant, then you wait because the QBs are deep and you'll be fine. But I'm taking Jordan Love before he goes nuts in week 1 or week 2 or week 3. That's just me. I got Dakota, call back when the phone lines are back open. But I mean, Jordan Love shouldn't be sitting out there. All right, later.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, AMG, call in real quick if you want to go over your question. I'm going to put you right here. Thank you so much. This one's from John. John, $10 super chat. Thank you. You get
to the moon.
Moonshot for a $10 hauler. 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Fields, ETN, Akers, Diggs, AJ Brown, Hawkinson, Olave. Some of these teams are running together in my brain. It's like I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Bench is Javonte, Dotson. You got so much value. So much value. Is this Tony the attorney? Tony,
yep, it's me.
Tony the attorney?
No.
Oh, yeah. You said, yeah, it's me. And then I was like, doesn't sound like you. Let me ask this again. Tony the attorney? Tony? And then you said no. That's right. AMG. I can't say it. I don't know why. What's up,
I'm gonna
AMG?
take my name to AGM for you, just so you could pronounce it.
Whatever. Yeah, I'll call you both. Hit me with it quick because I got a backlog
All right.
of super chats here, so I can't stay on long.
Got it. All right. So I just drafted 10-team PPR. Bijan, Wilson, Gibbs, Fields.
Bijan, Wilson, Gibbs, Fields. Okay.
Swift, Watson,
Okay.
Pacheco, Pickens.
Is that Christian Watson?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Watson. Then Pacheco,
Okay.
Pickens, Dotson.
Come on, bro. That's loaded. Go ahead.
Kadarius Toney. And then Kincaid and Komet as my
Okay.
tight ends.
All right. What's the question?
So the bench in this league is super small. It's like 5 slots. So did I do right in like rolling with just Fields as my quarterback?
Did you do right by rolling with Justin Fields? Why would I not believe that? What would give you, Tony, what would make you think I don't like Justin Fields after everything I've said about Justin Fields the entire offseason?
No. Did I do right in only rolling with Fields? Like, should I have drafted a backup?
Oh, well, I mean, didn't you just hear what I was talking about? If it's small benches and the quarterbacks are loaded out there on the waivers, then you're probably okay. But if it's, if there's no Jordan Love, there's no Derek Carr, you're talking about just having like bare bones, Sam Howell, Baker Mayfield, Jimmy Garoppolo, then I do want to have a backup in case crap hits the fan, but it doesn't sound like it's the case.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm asking you, like, what does the waiver wire look like right now for quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, Love is there.
You're probably okay.
Howell there.
Yeah, you're probably okay. Sounds like the quarterbacks are plentiful. But I don't like it. Makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm very much a guy that wants a backup quarterback. But, you got to play within the confines of the rules and the lineup requirements and all that. And if you have a short bench, bro, just let it ride. Keep those running back, wide receiver, upside guys. You don't want to let Dotson or Pickens or Pacheco or McKinnon or guys like that go. So, no. You're good.
What about Tony? Would you drop Tony for a QB?
Not if you can get Carr, Jordan Love, Danny Dimes, like it's loaded out there. Then no, I think I'm okay with playing that quarterback rotation game if, and keeping Tony because Tony's got potential league-winning potential. Now, if Tony craps the bed in week 1, gets hurt again, then cut him. But I bet you McKinnon's out there. I bet you there's other players I could swap Tony out for. So.
Yeah. So then my last question was, who would you start on at the flex spot? It's two running backs, 2 wide receiver, and then flex.
Two running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Well, Wilson, Watson, Gibbs, Bijan, Fields, and then probably out of the gate, I'm going to go Dotson. But Pickens, Dotson, Swift, Pacheco, good luck. Make a trade. Make a 2-for-1 trade, bro. All right. Hey, gotta run. I gotta appreciate you, Tony. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Right. Call in again if we open the phone lines. I appreciate you, man. Rock out. I gotta run, so hit me with your question real quick. Appreciate you.
Yeah, do I have to take a lap taking Fields over Burrow at 7 overall?
No, I mean I tell you all the time to split it. They're both fantastic, bro.
Yeah. One more question: would you trade Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet for Pacheco and DJ Moore? So basically downgrading my running back to get a better receiver.
You have McKinnon as well?
Yeah, I got McKinnon.
That's tempting. I'd probably say no, but that's very, very even. If you think you need the wide receiver and you like Pacheco a lot, it's a pretty good move. It's on paper, it's good, but it'd be hard for me to do.
Yeah,
personally.
the wide receiver I'm trying to upgrade because my wide receiver 2 is Christian Kirk, which is in the 14-man league.
That's fine. I think Kirk's good enough. I think you could probably trade Kirk and something to get DJ Moore and not have to go the Walker route. But I don't think if I like Kirk enough. Kirk's good enough. All right, rock out. Appreciate you. Call in if we open the phone lines again.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, Bearded Steve, appreciate your super chat. Parker, appreciate your super chat. Bearded Steve, I got those other super chats. I'm going back to the other screen. 12-man dynasty, trade Evans and Dalvin for Javonte. Absolutely take Javonte, and thank you for the super chat. T-Law, Swift, Herbert, Javonte, Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Ridley, Mark Andrews. Should I make any moves? 12-man league. Swift, Herbert, I mean, that's kind of rough running back stable with the 12-man league, to be honest with you. You've got Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Ridley, that's fantastic. Andrews, you clearly punted RB. It's not, I mean, the thing is, do you want to dismantle the reason you went 0 RB, or are you regretting it? If you're regretting it, Parker, then I would take Andrews and I would turn him into a Walker plus some, because Andrews goes in round 3, Walker goes in 4. We're talking about like a Pickens and Walker, a Hall and Pickens, a Hall and Dotson, and I would turn Andrews into that and go, tight end shopping on the waiver wire and get an Okonkwo, a Komet, check his health and all that. But being a Breece owner, thank you for the super chat. Being a Breece owner with Charbonnet, do I offer him to Walker owner or for Cook? No, I would take Charbonnet over Cook. I'd rather have trading for Walker from my buddy has been a nightmare. I'd rather have Charbonnet and make him lose sleep at night. Dalvin Cook is interesting, but I'm not trading Charbonnet. Relax. Thank you for your super chat. I posted my team. Need a QB. Want Bijan. Okay, hold on. Relax. Let me go looking for this. Here it is. Richardson, Pickens, Chase, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, London, Dotson, Breece, Pierce, Dobbins, Javonte, Charbonnet, Andrews, Musgrave. Posted my team. Need a QB. Want Bijan. Garrett Wilson, London, Dotson's a good team. Chase, St. Brown. Man, your wide receivers are crazy. You can't want Bijan. You can't get everything in life. And if you have Chase, St. Brown, and Garrett Wilson, you're going to have to get rid of like Chase or you probably have to get rid of Chase or St. Brown or Garrett Wilson to get Bijan. Unless you could try. You could try and say, hey, here's Pierce, Dotson, and Dobbins, but I don't think he's going to do it. I don't trade Breece Hall. If it's me, I'm trading Dobbins and Dotson. You could trade Andrews maybe. Maybe you give up Andrews and Dobbins and Dobbins for Breece for Bijan. And if you got to throw in more, I would. That's probably what I would do. Otherwise, I'm going after Walker or Hall using J.K. Dobbins. I'd use Andrews to get, and you need a QB. J.K. Dobbins and maybe J.K. Dobbins gets you a T-Law. And Aaron Rodgers. I'd take Aaron Rodgers for J.K. Dobbins. That's where I'd start with that team at least. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. And Walker, Hall, Debo, those are all targets for me with that team. Carlos, appreciate your super chat, Carlos. I'm going to put that right here. I am a little bit behind on these. I will get to them. I promise you. I'm putting them on screen here and cycling through. Bearded Steve, thank you for your question, Bearded Steve. Thank you, AMG, for your super chat. KJ says, I have the second pick in a 10-man league. Should I go Chase and then go running back, wide receiver, running back? No, the answer is no, because you got to go best player available. You got to go best player available. Don't set yourself up for going to a certain position in some sort of order that another channel told you. You go RB, 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 robust RB, go wide receiver heavy, don't ever draft RBs. You take the best player that hits a home run every time you draft. Every time you're on the clock, KJ, ask yourself, who is hitting a home run right now if I make them a draft pick of mine? And so Chase and Olave could be the way to go, then Gibbs and Walker, and then Fields, or Chase and maybe Pollard falls, and you go even, Steven, balanced attack. Maybe, that's the way I would look at it. Plus, Gibbs probably falls to you at the top of 3 because you got the second pick. So you're going to be fine at running back in round number 3. And that's one thing I will say with your thing here, Bijan, or running back, wide receiver, it would probably be running back as your third pick, almost guaranteed for me, because Gibbs would be there. That's the only one where I could say you can almost go a position, but it isn't really a position. You're just going player. You're going Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? Start Hall over White or Madison first few weeks. We got to feel it out on Breece Hall, bro. It would be hard for me to sit him. But if we find out he's going to get very minimal work or something to ease him in, then maybe you do sit him. And honestly, I guess Rachaad White would probably be the way to go for volume, at least initially. Or I would go Madison. I go Madison with the release of McBride. That definitely would make me go Madison, I think, for week 1. But Rashad's tempting, and maybe we talk about. Let's rethink this one. Let's come circle back around. I don't know if I feel ready to lock that one in, to be honest with you. Oscar with a super chat. Oscar got draft tonight, 9-man. Or I'm sorry, at 9, 10-man full PPR super flex. Super flex draft strategy. 9 pick. If it's T-Law, take T-Law. If Fields falls, you take Fields. If Burrow falls, you take Burrow. It's Burrow, Fields. Those are top 5 overall players to me. That is where you win this league if you get this done, bro. You get this done. If you get Fields or Burrow with your 9 pick, either one of them, you win. You can win your league. That's a step in the right direction. T-Law is a nice emergency. If T-Law or Lamar aren't even there, I don't force quarterback. I go best player available, non-quarterback. And Chase or JJ probably would be gone. Of course, I would take them with one of those picks that you have there. But I have a feeling you'll get at least T-Law. After you get T-Law, go back to running back and wide receiver shopping and come back and get Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love in round 4 or 5. That's the winning strategy. And if you want to look at my team, this is the team that I have, the team that I created in a expert draft the other night. This is an amazing team using that exact strategy. I took Fields at 1.8, bro. And then I took Jordan Love. You can see down here at my quarterback flex spot, Jordan Love. Jordan Love in the 6th round. He was an absolute steal. So I would say if you think based on the suggested rank that Love will fall, then keep punting Aaron Rodgers and Love, but don't punt them too long, bro. Look at the team I was able to build by investing later in Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers. I built this team right here. Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Deebo Samuel, DeAndre Swift, Jahan Dotson. Freaking love this squad. So that would be my advice to you. Here's my mashed potato 10-man PPR. Jamar Chase, Gibbs, Olave, Andrews, Walker, Burrow, London. There's nothing to do there, bro. You got sniped on Charbonnet. That's your only mission. And absolutely, Smitty. Patrick, you crushed your draft, man. You crushed it. Nothing to even move. Addison for Charbonnet. Gibson and Addison for Charbonnet. If Flowers goes nuts in week 1 and Charbs does very little, you might be able to bite the bullet and go get Charbonnet using Flowers. John with the $10 hauler. John, appreciate you.
To the moon.
10-man PPR, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Fields, ETN, Akers. I don't like Akers. He's expendable. Diggs, A.J. Brown, Hawkinson, love it. Olave, love it. Philadelphia, D, love it. Javonte, Zay Flowers, Dotson, A-Rod, Zeke. Got a lot of potential. It's definitely Smitty approved. I'm trying to get rid of Akers, though. Akers, try and get a Debo, a Watson, a Love, or a Pickens using Akers. And if you've got to throw in a tiny bit more, do it. Akers and Hawkinson and going light at tight end would be interesting as well. And the players you would go shoot for there would be like a Hawkinson for Walker, type of move. And you might be able to do that straight up without even giving up Akers and then trade Akers in a different deal. But I'm trying to turn Akers into Debo, Watson, or London or Pickens personally. Michael with a $10 hauler. Michael, appreciate you. Just finished a draft. 10-man PPR. Watson and Bijan, JT, Waddle, Higgins, Keenan Allen, Kelsey, Deontay Johnson, Mike Evans, Gibson. Michael, you still here, bro? I thought I got to this one, but I guess I didn't hit it yet. I'm sorry, bro. $10 hauler. Appreciate that.
To the moon.
Michael, let me know if you're still here. So just finished the draft. 10-team league PPR. Watson. I don't love Deshaun Watson, but I get it. JT, you must have got him really late. I'd be very interested, Michael, where you got JT. I know you're kind of a risk adverse, or a risk. You dabble in risk in certain ways. I know that about you. And so you probably got JT late, but I would like to know where. Bijan, Waddle, Higgins, Keenan Allen, I'm not fond of. Kelsey, I love. If it's me, I'm trading Keenan Allen and Watson for a slight QB upgrade. Slight QB upgrade. That's what I'm using Keenan Allen for. Watson to Fields would be a smash. Deontay and Keenan Allen for a slight wide receiver upgrade. Maybe somebody that's light at wide receiver. I could definitely see myself wanting a Deebo Samuel over that combo. I would take in Deebo over Keenan Allen personally. Now, Michael, if you love JT in the 7th, that's what I figured. If you like Keenan Allen more than Deebo, so be it. But I'd rather have Christian Watson over Keenan Allen. I'd rather have Hall over Keenan Allen. I'd rather have Walker over Keenan Allen. I'd rather have Deebo, like I said, over Keenan Allen. Those are just the moves I would make. But I like your team. You always do a good job assembling a monster. Appreciate you. Just Sherman, $5 hauler. Sorry about the wait, Michael. 12-team half PPR. Allen, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Bijan Walker, Ingram, Kamara, Charbonnet. Very, very strong squad. Josh Allen, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Bijan Walker. It's really good, man. You got Charbonnet, Kamara waiting in the wings. No moves to make. You wait on this team. You let it simmer, and you let him build in value. Very, very good job. Ronnie with a $2 just did an ESPN draft 12-team full PPR roster is that's not how the chat works, Ronnie, but let me find it. Here it is. T-Law, Bijan, Walker, St. Brown, Ridley, DJ Moore, Kincaid. Bench is Pickens. JSN, Flowers, Charbonnet, Bigsby, A-Chain, AR. Upset that Fields and Pacheco got sniped right before I could grab them. So T-Law, Bijan, Walker. You've got Sharp, smart man, St. Brown, Ridley. You smashed it, bro. And I don't even really need to move anything here either, because these are all risers. To move somebody, you got to trade somebody. And I don't want you trading Pickens or JSN. You just let these guys gain value, and then you figure out, like, let's say Bigsby, knock on wood. We don't want anything happening to ETN. But let's say Bigsby gets in there and becomes a top 12 running back. Now, all of a sudden, bro, you could take Flowers, who's popping off, or Pickens, who's popping off, pair him with Bigsby, and that might be your one, like, closing out the league move. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate your $2 hauler. This one is from Carter. Carter says, what's up, Smitty? First time super chat.
To the moon.
Appreciate your first time super chat. My main man Carter. Just did my redraft 14 team. Sam Howell, Jordan Love, Pickett, Gibbs, Breece, Kenneth Walker. That's a really good trio of running backs. Zach Charbonnet, nice job. Always got to cuff Charbonnet. Drake London, AJ Brown, Dotson, very crafty, JSN, Kelsey. What's the play for QB? I probably let it ride with Jordan Love. It's kind of intriguing. I want to do it in one league, to be honest with you, bro. But Aaron Rodgers is a smart move. Maybe you could trade a Ayuk, for an Ayuk and Sam Howell, Ayuk and Pickett for like someone's backup. I don't know if somebody needs a wide receiver. You can maybe get Aaron Rodgers in there. Pickett's pretty interesting too, but I don't know if I want him in a 1 QB league as my starter, but he's a good backup. I just let Jordan Love ride on this one, and I don't know that I'm making any moves unless I'm trading. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could try and go to the teams that have 2 quarterbacks. Anybody that's got a quarterback isn't trading down to Jordan Love. They won't believe in Jordan Love. A lot of people don't even draft Jordan Love. There's no way you're going to get anybody to give you their quarterback. It's just not the way it works once teams are drafted and settled in. People don't like trading their quarterbacks. It's just very uncomfortable. So, if there is a team that has two, if somebody grabbed the Fields and a T-Law, then go after T-Law. T-Law for one of your quarterbacks, it probably would be Love, and Ayuk would maybe get it done. Would I even give up JSN if his hype built a little bit more in the offseason here before the season kicks off for T-Law? I probably would in your situation. That's the most I would do. Otherwise, I'm intrigued to let Jordan Love go out there and ride, bro. To be honest with you, it would be fun in one league. Hill, Connor for Adam, Swift, Kamara. Tyreek Hill and Connor for Adam, Swift, Kamara. I don't believe in Adams, man. If this was a different player, maybe. Kamara's on suspension for 3 games. Swift, we don't know what he is. Probably no. I'd probably trade Connor in a different move. I don't think I make that particular move. Carlos with a super chat. Smitty, rate my team 12 team. Half PPR. Dak, Wilson, Ridley, Bijan, Gibbs. Love the Garrett Wilson, Ridley, Bijan, Gibbs, Waller combination there. Very, very solid. Suggestions, upgrade Dak. How? Probably wait on Jalen Warren to pop off or something because he's got that little like Tony Pollard vibe to him. And people are excited about him. And if he has a big game, maybe you can use it. Javonte goes nuts, maybe you can use him. Quentin Johnson goes nuts, maybe you can use him. I don't know that maybe T-Law. Honestly, the only hope you have is somebody has 2 quarterbacks, like T-Law is their second quarterback. They did something weird. Aaron Rodgers would be a nice move using Quentin Johnson or Jalen Warren. Maybe go to the Najee Harris owner and start talking Jalen Warren up without even talking trade with him. Go, hey, bro, I'm hearing some things about Jalen Warren, which are true. You're not making this up. Getting used a lot like Tony Pollard last year. And just let it simmer. Walk away. Don't even talk trade with him. And then maybe a couple days he comes to you, or you say, hey, do you want to make a trade? Hey, remember what I told you about Jalen Warren? I don't know. You got a quarterback. I need one. T-Law. I'll give you Dak and Jalen Warren for T-Law. And then you make that trade potentially. That's how you do that. That's trading 101, my man. My mang. Deet. $20 holler. How did I not see this? Deet, are you here?
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Deet, I'm sorry, bro. Heating Up Podcast 7-month membership question. Waddle or DK PPR? Give me Waddle. For sure. I can understand why you'd ask it, but the answer is Waddle. Deet, appreciate you. Deet, I'm so sorry about the wait on this one. This is a $20 holler. Sleeper League, 12-team PPR. Bijan, Pollard, love it. Gibbs, love it. 3 running backs are insane. Deuce Vaughn, Charbonnet, nice. DJ Moore, Mike Williams, JSN. Actually, the only player I don't love there is the Mike Williams. Rodgers, love that. Mike Williams for, I mean, maybe you go like Dotson shopping. Maybe you go Mike Williams. What's Mike Williams' ADP? Mike Williams' ADP is kind of high considering he's going around, has he dropped? God, his ADP is so high. Christian Watson's 1 spot above him. London's below him. I take either one of those. Hopkins is below. I'd go get Hopkins, London, or Christian Watson straight up for Mike Williams. And if you got to give up something small, which I don't see here, yeah, there's not much you can give up here. That's probably what I would do, Deet. Other than that, there's nothing to move or maneuver. It's a good team. What's your thought on ETN for Gibbs? I love both of them, but I would take Gibbs. I draft Gibbs ahead of ETN. ETN's about a half a round to a round later. Doesn't mean I don't love him. Doesn't mean ETN can't be a top 5 running back. But that's just my pecking order. Not to mention, if you draft Gibbs, you have a tendency to maybe get both of them that way, and that's why I do that. But they're pretty close, honestly. But I think Gibbs is safer. Dobbins and Dobbs for 35 out of 100 fab dollars for Gibbs. Oh, Dobbins, yeah, bro. Dobbins, Dobbs, and 30. I give 100 fab dollars. You're getting greedy there, bro. Is this you're cooking up this this offer, or somebody send this to you? Because if you didn't accept this, you're taking a lap. I'd take Gibbs in a heartbeat. I'd give up $100 out of $100. I'll let him punch me right in the eye. On top of it, Avi, Justin Fields is coming for all those haters. He certainly is. Thank you, Avi, for the $2 hauler. Appreciate you. Dominic, thank you for your super chat. Landon with the $5 hauler. Dominant with the $5 hauler. Dominant, thank you. I don't see a question. Dominant's just being dominant. Dropping a $5 hauler just to be an absolute amazing person. Thank you. Landon traded Mike Williams and Madison for Debo. Smash that trade.
Got him.
Absolute debacle on that guy's hands. Nice job as my wide receiver 3. Still have Saquon Hall. Love it. Debo to the moon on that one. Uncle Philly, we're going Bijan or Chase at the 1.1. I mean, JJ, Bijan, Chase, I love all three. Double flex. Honestly, I'd be lying if I told you I wouldn't divide it up in 3 different leagues. If I had the 1 pick in 3 drafts tonight, I would take 1 in one league, 1 in the other, 1 in the other. It really is that simple, and I wish I could give you like a concrete answer. I know a lot of people want a concrete answer, but there really is no concrete answer. The bottom line is, if I had 1 league, I guess I would go Bijan because I don't want to miss out on Bijan. If you got a lot of Bijan shares already, then maybe you go Jamar Chase or JJ. That's kind of how I feel about that. Jay, appreciate your $5. Josh Allen, JT, I'm sorry about JT, bro. I tried to warn everybody. Connor, I don't like Connor at all, and it's Connor, not Connors. Tyreek, Watson, Godwin, Ingram. Jay, appreciate you, my man. If this is me, God, I don't know what I'd do here. Your running backs are tough. Tough, bro. Jay, we need to make sure you're looking at the Moon Men list before you draft your next team.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Memorize it. These are your leaders, the Mars Men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Men.
Those are your winners, bro. This is tough because there's not a lot to trade here. If it's me, I'm trying to trade JT, but I don't know that you can. I'm trying to go get a Walker or Hall. I don't think you're going to get it. JT's going in like the 6th or 7th round, so you almost have to hold him and bank that he comes back and balls out, or this team has no shot. Connor, I don't even know what Connor's ADP is. I don't draft Connor at all. I think the Cardinals, I'm in Arizona. The Cardinals are diving. This guy lives on touchdowns. How is he going to find the end zone? But he does have some value. Below him is Kamara. Below him is Swift, Pacheco. Those are all better options in my opinion. Part of me wonders if you go get Kamara using Connor and you just bank on JT and Kamara coming back, holding hands, walking onto the field together, just like Friday Night Lights, and just smashing. That's your only shot. That's your shot. That's your one shot to turn this around, Jay. And, it's kind of a fun little experiment, but I don't know that there's a lot of trading that you can do. Maybe you trade Josh Allen for T. Law and get another running back like Walker or Hall. That would be another option you could do. Tron Force with a $5 hauler. Trade Chubb for Tyreek. The rest of my roster is Mahomes, Olave, Pickens, Sanders, Swift, Monty. I don't know that having Chubb, like you almost have better wide receivers than you have runners. So I don't know that I would necessarily do that unless you can flip it for more. Because I think, and thank you for the $5 hauler, I think it's, Tyreek's got more value, so maybe you can flip it. Tyreek Hill for like a Walker and Watson type of thing. You might be able to flip that. Dominant 12-man PPR. Redraft T-Law, Bijan, Gibbs, St. Brown, Watson, Kincaid, Pacheco, bench Flowers, McKinnon, Pickens, Bigsby, yeah, really good. Really good. You got McKinnon to back it up. I like it, bro. Not much to move here. You got it. You got a good team. These are all the show players. So you just let Pickens and Flowers do their thing, and Bigsby, and maybe you got some, and Dobbs, and maybe you got some trade value later. That's a really good squad. Nice flex. Young, coming in. Can you show the satellite crew? There's no satellite man list anymore. It's now the mid-season monsters. We did away with the satellite men because we didn't need it. We have the mid-season monsters. Mid-season monsters. JSN, Herbert, Hall, Flowers, doing it live. Doing it live. JSN, these are all going to be Moonmen performers by midseason or earlier. It doesn't have to be midseason. It could be week 2, week 3, week 1. Appreciate you, Young, dropping the $2 holler. I think I've got all the super chats caught up. Good Lord. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for keeping the lights on here at the Fantasy Football Show. Thank you so much for helping us get to 21K super quick from 20K. We went to 20K. We went to 21K. We're already at 21,100 practically in just the day. So I can't thank you guys enough for all your help. Thank you, Hob G's, dropping your $50 holler. And the phone lines, we can open the phone lines briefly, and then we are going to potentially, I don't know, we're not leaving yet, but we got 347 people in here. Hit that thumb up button on your way in and out of the door. If we hit 200 likes on this, I'm going to give away thefantasyfootballshow.com membership, $35 membership, not the text device included. That's a lot to give away. It's a tough product to just give to people because there's a lot of time involved. Landon just became a YouTube exclusive member.
To the moon.
Landon, appreciate you. But if we hit another 8 likes, I'll give away a YouTube exclusive membership. If you go to my most recent post on my IG, which I believe is, what post is that? On my Instagram, my most recent post is it's this right here. It's this graphic right here. And this is about the JT news, which we haven't broke yet. Or we broke it, but I haven't talked about on this show. If you go to this post on Instagram, just go to The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. And if you go to my profile, you'll see this most recent post that looks exactly like this right here. And if you tag 3 friends and put a fire emoji, 3 friends and a fire emoji, because we're over 200 likes, I'm going to pick one random person. I'll put it on my story so you can find out that it was you, and I'll tag you. One person, Bakedin Boys just called in and hung up. Bakedin, calling again. I'm going to give away a membership to the fantasyfootballshow.com content membership, rankings, bold predictions, all that. Zach, you got some major reverb on the phone there. I don't know if you got the show in the background or what's going on, but it sounds like a bunch of chicken scratching constantly. What's going on there, bro?
Sorry, Smitty. Better now?
Yeah, definitely better. What's up?
All right. I have a 4-keeper league, and I'm already keeping Olave, Burrow, and Tony Pollard. I'm debating whether I should keep as my 4th keeper Breece Hall in the 3rd, Diggs in the 2nd, or DK Metcalf in the 5th.
Probably Diggs, just because, I mean, DK's nice, but I guess I consider Diggs because you think about it, Diggs in the 5th, and then you get the 2nd-round player. Who would the 2nd-round player be if it wasn't Diggs? Who would you be drafting roughly?
In the 2nd round, it'd probably be, God, I don't even know. Gibbs will be gone. Breece will be gone. Adams gone. God, maybe like JSN. I don't know. I don't know who would go in like a 4-keeper league.
I'd probably say Diggs because it just gives you a loaded team, you know?
Yeah. Diggs in the 2nd, you say?
I would think so. Have you written it out and looked at your team and said, like, okay, would be the team if I did it this way. This would be the team if I did it that way. I kind of feel like the Diggs team would look the nicest.
Yeah, like I have the 1.1, so I'm going to take Bijan. So I'll have Burrow, Bijan, Pollard, Diggs, and Olave.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably go Diggs. If I had to pick, I'd go Diggs. If you guys can mute real quick, I got the Isaac Oscar. A few of you just got added to the phone line. There's a little background noise, so just mute real quick. Yeah, I go Diggs, but map it out. You know, it's hard to fathom what it's gonna all look like because I don't know who's gonna be there. So if you write out the teams, just write out what you believe to be the teams, and just take a look at it, like actually on a piece of paper, like write it down and like look at it. It does wonders for your mind processing it, and just say to yourself, okay, is JSN and DK better than just Diggs for this team? You know, could I get a player like Watson? And then all of a sudden it's DK and Watson instead of Diggs, then all of a sudden it looks different, you know?
And you wouldn't keep Breece in the 3rd, you're saying?
Do you get to keep him for multiple years in the third then?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that changes some things. How is it like
Okay.
one more year or is it like infinity?
As of right now, it's infinity. It might change, but I mean, as of right now,
What?
it's
Why does
supposed
it
to be
change?
forever.
Who gets to decide who changes it? I don't understand that. How does a commissioner let you draft and make decisions, and then they go ahead and make changes? I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. That should be not allowed. You should be kicked out of commissioner camp, and I'm going to have a commissioner boot camp. This is ridiculous that these commissioners make these changes in the middle of a keeper and dynasty league. Like, that's stupid. All right, hey, appreciate you, bro. Anything else, real quick? I got to run.
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, later, Zach. This news real quick before I go to the guys on the phone lines. Hang tight. Let me get the super chat out. $10 hauler. This one's from Chris. Chris, appreciate you with the $10 hauler. Chris has the following team: Fields, Stevenson, Pierce, Diggs, Hopkins, Sky Moore, Komet, James Cook, benches, Higbee, Swift, Penny, Dalvin Cook, Bigsby. Good team, Chris. Trying to trade for a better wide receiver 3. Stevenson, Pierce. I mean, they're crafty. You don't necessarily need to get rid of those guys. Yeah, Diggs, Hopkins. It's a tough one because you don't really have. I mean, Dalvin Cook. Go to the Breece owner and see if you can give Dalvin Cook and maybe I don't know, Dalvin Cook and somebody for just a wide receiver upgrade, I suppose. Maybe you get James Cook's very tradable. James Cook you could trade with potentially Sky Moore, or Swift could be tradable. You might have to just wait too, though. James Cook's got good trade value right now. James Cook on Underdog Fantasy has an ADP of, let's see, it's climbing fast too. People are really excited about James Cook. And I'm not saying there's not a reason to be excited, but I feel like the excitement's growing too fast. I think this is a team that is not proven to use their running backs in a way that makes me trust them above Javonte, above Kamara, above, Pacheco even. I'd take Pacheco over James Cook. But James Cook's ADP is right at number 72 overall. And if you go to the wide receivers on ADP, this is how I construct trades. And I see at 71, Jaxon Smith-Njigba could be a good James Cook swap. And that's really, really doable right now with the wrist injury. That's probably what I would do. JSN, Dotson, Pickens, those are the guys that I would go attack using James Cook. You might be able to get that done straight up. And this report, before I go to the phone lines, the Packers tried to trade for Jonathan Taylor, or at least inquired in a significant way to try and get him. And that's an interesting thing to hear, because what in the hell would that have done to the Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon shares, and what would have done for Jordan Love? How would it have impacted the Packers? I mean, that's crazy. The Packers were the mystery team that was, in on trying to get him. And they probably lowballed it, but that is quite an interesting move. And for anybody that says that's crazy, why would they do that? I mean, why not? If someone does believe him to be a top 5 running back in the National Football League, and I do believe he's capable of it. He's just been injured and disappointing, and it's hard to trust him right now. But if you step back from the situation, and if he was faking his injuries right now, and he was pretty damn healthy, and you got Aaron Jones who's getting older and might be in Green Bay this last year, I don't know. Why would you not want Jordan Love to have JT next year and the remainder of this year, and to have Aaron Jones catching footballs and becoming like a hybrid wide receiver running back instead of a running back wide receiver, and you put JT, have a thunder and lightning approach? Why not? Work for the Chargers with Melvin Gordon and Eckler, but it didn't happen. It's probably not going to happen, I don't think. I mean, you never know what team's going to go after him after the 4-week, layoff. Let me go over to Russian Collusion. You are first. You are live. What can I do for you?
What's going on, Smitty? You are the man. You are the myth.
I appreciate you.
You are the legend.
Appreciate you.
You always will be.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So, I know you do it every year, and you proved it in the Marsman League that you know how to do a trade. I know you normally do a segment on trades, and I think it needs to be moved up
earlier in the year, before a week before maybe the NFL starts, I'm getting trades out there that are just ridiculous. People are offering me like 5th and 6th pick for a number 1 pick. I'm like, come on, dude, just offer me something that's respectable, and I'll look at it. And then they get mad like, oh, this guy doesn't want to trade. You know what I mean? And it's not about that. It's about give me a good offer, and I'll accept it. And I sent it to only you, an offer that I recommended in one of the leagues, and I'm trying to give up Jacobs and Tyreek Hill, which, I'll be honest, I'm not fond of either one of them, but they could be good values.
Jacobs and Hill for what?
Well, I don't want to say the full trade because it's still an ongoing trade.
Oh, okay.
So I already got bashed in the Marsman League for talking about trades on the show. And
let me clarify that real quickly. It is encouraged. It is encouraged, coming from the commissioner of both of those leagues, it is encouraged to have all kinds of drama and chaos around the Marsman and Moonman leagues. And if anybody has a problem with that, they need to understand the concept of these leagues. It's to be out in the open. And maybe, somebody doesn't want you telling on their bad trade offer. But at the same time, if you're offering such a bad offer that if it gets aired, maybe you should work on your offering skills and not offer crappy offers to people. Because if I offer a bad offer, and I have, and you want to air it out, that's fine. It doesn't embarrass me. This is the Moonman and Marsman League. We drafted it live in front of everybody. There's no reason anybody should be telling another person in the league that we can't air out everything that's going on. That's the whole point of the two leagues. So let me just nip that in the bud and say that's not the case.
I appreciate it, Smitty, because, I was bashed by a couple people in the league that, I shouldn't air that stuff on the chat and stuff like that and talk about it in the Smitty live shows. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa. This was all created due to Smitty. How come we can't talk about it?
We can. We can and we will. And just like I evaluated the trade, and I don't know if Jack's still mad at me, but I was really hard on Jack's side of that trade, and he hasn't been back since, and I feel bad. It's so weird how fantasy football can just divide people. And I don't know that Jack's mad at me or all, but look, this is out in the open. This league is in front of everybody. And when there's a big trade that goes down, I'm going to throw the trade on screen. We're going to evaluate it and see if someone got ripped off or if it was a good trade. And if someone gets ripped off, we're not going to pat them on the back and console them. It is a big boy league. And, I feel bad if someone takes it wrong. But if you make a horrible trade in a big public league, we're going to drop it on the screen. But we're also going to drop on your victory, too. If you do a good trade, we're going to throw that on.
Your trade that you did was very fair. Both teams agreed to it, and that's what matters.
I thought my trade was fair. Yeah, I thought I offered Rock out a really good trade, and the ADP supported it. It's just our community loves Walker. But look, the outside world thinks Aaron Jones is better than Kenneth Walker. So, or at least neck and neck. So I made a trade where I gave up JSN, who I didn't want to give up. I love JSN. I give up JSN, Aaron Jones, and Tank Dell and Bigsby, I think, for the two Seattle running backs because I was not secure in my running back room and I wanted to do that. I thought it was a fair trade, but a lot of people said it was good for my team, and maybe it works out for Rock out. Maybe JSN's the best player in that entire deal, All right, hey, Russian, I got to get going here, so. Yeah, go ahead.
I know you do pretty soon, but one other thing. I did send you an Instagram of my home league. It's the only home league I have. I don't know if you can just send me a text or a message on it or just bring it up because it's a different league because you must have 2 defenses and 2 kickers on it. But I just want to know your opinion on it. And you didn't respond on the Instagram chat, so I just wanted to see what you thought on that league. And you don't have to do it now. Do it whenever you can.
It's in the YouTube exclusive Instagram group.
Just I Instagram just to you only.
like you responded on another. I think my trade that I recommended or I asked you about. You responded on that, but you didn't respond on my
oh,
action
okay,
sheet.
Smitty. My trade offer. You don't want me to read it, right? You want to keep it private?
No, because I wanted to stay because they haven't responded yet on it. So,
all right,
but
conclusion.
but you said that was I was actually probably the loser, but probably the winner in the end.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, appreciate you, man.
You know what I mean?
I'll look at it.
All right, bye.
Later.
Thank you.
All right. I think Avi was on the. Wasn't Avi on? No, Avi wasn't on the line. Oscar, you're live.
Hey, what up, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, I called in a few days ago, similar to a few people have called in terms of getting a backup QB. I was just hoping I can run through my lineup real quick and see if whether or not it makes sense to drop someone for a backup at this point.
Why, instead of going through the whole lineup, just give me your last four guys, rather than because the other parts aren't relevant to the question. Then, so just give me your four drops that you're considering, and then I'll see.
Okay. Realistically, either between Juwan Johnson or McKinnon, and I have Okonkwo as my starter.
Okay.
Tight end.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of dropping McKinnon at all. Who was the other one?
Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, I'm okay dropping Juwan as long as you think there's good waiver options out there at tight end whenever you need it. But if there's not, then I don't know about dropping him.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the waivers right now, for example, at least from a tight end perspective. Got Musgrave on there, Dulcich. Well, those would be the biggest ones I'm with. The other ones are not too good. And there is plentiful on the quarterback, so there's still
there's no other player you can drop. McKinnon's your worst player. I don't drop McKinnon.
Yeah, I mean, I got, in terms of running back, Gibbs, Walker, Charbonnet, Swift.
I mean, I'd rather back up my quarterback than my tight end if you think you can find Taysom Hill. Dulcich isn't bad. Like, if there's 4 or 5 tight ends out there, I think I'd rather back up my quarterback with the Jordan Love and not let somebody pick him up after week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Taysom Hill is out there as well.
I think he'll be okay. He'll be better off. Quarterback's a more important position, bro.
Okay. And then in terms of defense, would you have a backup for that, or just as the week comes or the bye week comes, just switching it out?
In your situation, how are you going to do that? You can't even back up your tight end.
Or, well, pick someone up from the waiver, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to cut someone. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to hold a backup? Yeah. Oh, you mean drop each week versus picking up one defense? Well, it depends who you can pick up. Like, if you could pick up the Steelers right now, of course I'd play the Steelers. The Jets, I'd play the Jets. If it's Doc, if you don't mind muting real quick with the background noise, appreciate it, and then I'll come right over to you. I would say, just depends on the defense, bro. Who could you pick up? I mean, of course you got to rotate defenses if there's no good defense out there. You got to go matchups at that point if you didn't grab any good solid.
Yeah,
defense.
so I got KC as my defense now. Pittsburgh is still out there, as well as Seattle, Green Bay. Atlanta.
Go get Pittsburgh and then just use them each week. That's perfect. They're top 5 defense to me. So easy question. All right, bro. Hey, I got to run. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Smitty.
All right, later. Let me go over to let's go over to the Isaac.
Yes, sir. How we doing?
I'm good. And Bella, check yourself. I would take Christian Watson over Trevor Lawrence because their ADPs aren't, but it depends on the situation. I don't remember what we're talking about here, but Christian Watson's got more value. All right, go ahead, Isaac. What can I do for you?
Hey, listen, I just got a first-time listener on, my friend Chris Quinn, who just sent you a super chat.
Chris.
I try to keep him on the down low, but I also try to spread the word.
Hey, I appreciate that.
He sent the super chat. He's trying to trade up maybe James Cook, try to get a JSN, try to get a Pickens, maybe
buddy.
a Dotson. I completely agree.
Love it.
We might have a three-way trade going on, trying to get something worked out.
Nice.
Listen, I did my first draft of the year. I have to share it with you. Are you ready?
All right, go ahead.
All right, 10-team PPR. It's a one keeper. All right, I had the 8th pick. First pick was Garrett Wilson at the 8th spot. My second pick was my keeper, which was Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Third pick, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Nice.
Followed by Breece Hall.
Nice.
Christian Watson.
Nice.
Kenneth Walker.
Very solid, bro.
In the 7th, I had Dak Prescott.
Meh, but I love everything else.
Followed by Drake London.
Love it.
Followed by JSN. OBJ.
Crush it, bro.
Charbonnet. Kincaid in the 12th. Hank Bigsby in the 13th.
I love it, man. The only thing I'd tell you to do is try and beef up QB a little bit. You got the depth to do it.
Listen, that's why I'm calling. So I don't love Dak, and here's what happened, man. At the 3rd pick, I was going for Burrow, and he got selected right before. So I went ahead and grabbed Gibbs.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of punt QB. T-Law was taken, Burrow was taken, Fields was taken. All I had left was Herbert and Dak. So give me a synopsis of trading up Dak and maybe somebody else to get a Burrow.
I mean, I didn't retain your whole team, but you know, some of those guys that aren't necessarily in your lineup, and you try and upgrade into but the problem is you're going to have to go to a team that has 2 quarterbacks. No one's just going to give you an upgrade at quarterback. Nobody loves going, you want my quarterback and I go down to Dak? Like, they're not going to, it's such a hard move to make. So.
Well, listen, there's one squad that I think I'm targeting that has 2 QBs, and one of them being Aaron Rodgers. So let me ask you, Aaron Rodgers versus Dak. Where you at?
A-Rod.
Yeah, all day, right?
All day. Jordan Love on waivers? Jordan Love on waivers?
Jordan Love is on waivers. Yes,
well, grab him and just start him in week 1. See how it goes.
Wow.
I love Jordan Love. I mean, it's tempting, man. He's got so much upside. I think people are just completely like, try it in week 1, and if it doesn't work, then try and make this trade. Plus, a lot of your guys are risers, so let's let them all gain value, simmer a little bit on the stove, and you know, let them evolve, and then maybe you have more of a trade opportunity. Plus, you'll have some quarterbacks that didn't play well, you know, so you're going to be able to buy low. So pick up Love, let it ride, and I wouldn't do a thing.
Committee, I feel like we're always on the same wavelength here.
Can you ask him about Dalvin for Pickens?
So listen, I got Mr. Chris Quinn, again, first-time listener, on the phone here too.
To the moon.
I sent you my stuff before. Would you do Dalvin Cook for George Pickens?
I would rather have Pickens, but it would depend a little bit on the running back situation. But I'm assuming you don't need Dalvin Cook.
I was the one with Diggs, Hopkins, Sky Moore.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my 3 receivers.
Yes.
And then I had all those running backs.
Yeah, go get Pickens. Go get Pickens for sure. For sure.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Would he be above Dotson and JSN?
It'd probably be Dotson, and then Pickens and JSN are really close. I'd probably lean Pickens because of the injury, but any one of those would get it done for me.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right, yeah. Hey, appreciate you, Chris. Appreciate you, the Isaac. I'm glad you brought. You know, you guys doing karate in the garage? You got the bunk beds hooked up. We're all set up.
Yes, sir. To the moon.
Activity, more room for activity. See you guys later.
All right, bye.
All right, appreciate that. I love when like buddies call in and everything. That's great. Let's go over to Kyle from Mass. Kyle, real quickly, bro. I'm sorry to cut you short. I can't listen to a whole team or anything. I got to get out of here. We've been here. We're going on 3 hours almost. Give me your question. You're live. Appreciate you.
All right, no worries. And I know you're high on Breece Hall. I'm a little lower on him.
and he's in this possible trade. I think you'd say don't do it, but I'll give it to you anyway.
Hey, can you hold on 1 second? Russian Collusion dropped this $50 hauler, and I just want to make sure I appreciate him real quick.
Yep.
Russian, appreciate you. He's in the middle of a conversation. I didn't want to cut him off, and then I just forgot real quick. Russian Collusion dropping a $50 hauler. He says, this show is the best. How many shows can you call in and talk about, talk to the man with the best fantasy football content in the industry? Thank you, Russian.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ow! This hit my elbow.
Oh, you get to me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. What was your question, Kyle?
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, so it was a trade question. I was talking about Breece Hall. I would receive Eckler, DK Metcalf, Deshaun Watson. I'd have to trade Lamar, Breece Hall, and Amari Cooper. PPR 10 team.
I got to write this down, bro. Eckler.
All right, yeah.
DK Metcalf.
DK and Deshaun Watson. And I'm giving away Lamar, Breece Hall, and Amari Cooper.
And this is redraft or dynasty?
Redraft, yeah.
Give me, God, it's tough because like Eckler's got, there's injury concern, but you can't say there's not injury concern here too. I mean, it is what it is. DK, yeah. Amari, I'd rather have DK, so we're going to check that. And honestly, I hate Watson, but I think the difference here, the Eckler and DK side over the Hall Amari side, at least for right now. Of course, Hall can get there, but the gap between Watson and Lamar is not. Lamar doesn't make up enough for it to make this move. The DK Eckler side wins.
Yeah, and I do have Lamar a little higher than you. I have him like top 4, but I was waiting on doing it too. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right, call on tomorrow, if not later tonight. We might go on the Dynasty channel tonight. I'm not sure. Marsman Rock Out. What's up, my man?
Not much. Which defense do you like this week? Miami, Seattle, Cincinnati, or Denver?
I got to pull up the matchups, to be honest. Hold on.
Denver plays the Raiders, Bengals, Cleveland, Seattle versus the Rams, Miami versus the Chargers.
Give me Seattle or Denver. I think Jimmy Garoppolo. Give me Seattle, I guess. What does the chat think? We like in Seattle against the Rams, or because Stafford just sounds like a mess right now. Or do we trust Denver to cause some chaos? Is that game in Denver and is that game in Seattle? Rock out.
Hold on 1 sec.
I'm leaning Seattle, man. I just Pete Carroll's.
In Seattle.
Go Seattle.
Seattle.
What? Arguable, you know.
And then Denver at home as well.
Yeah, I go Seattle. Denver's an interesting play, but.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, Rock Out. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. I'm sorry I'm running. I've been here for 3 hours, so. All right, Rock Out.
That's all right.
We'll see you later, pal.
Yep.
Rags, you're live. I'm sorry to cut you short, but I definitely got to go. Trading Jacobs for Pearson Dotson, a good deal. Hold on. Eric says Pearson Dotson. Give me Pearson Dotson over Jacobs, but I might be in the minority on that. I think some people might say they need to get more, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. Like, would I try and get more? But you're asking me about that trade. Could you get more? Probably. because Pierce is like a 5th rounder maybe, or could be 4th to some people, but 5th rounder. Dotson's a 6th rounder, and Jacobs is a 2nd rounder. So even though I like that side better, I kind of feel like I would go get a Walker. You know what I mean? So I almost say like I like it, but I don't do it. Reebok Washington at Baltimore have great matchups week 1, says Reebok. Thank you, Reebok. And then this one right here, Trade Barkley, London for Garrett Wilson, Javonte Williams. Give me Garrett Wilson, Javonte Williams. That's a really, really good one. That's a good question. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rags. Rags, you're live. Rags, you there? Jay?
Yo, I'm here.
What's up, Jay?
My bad.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, how's it going? Wanted to. I know you're busy right now, or you're running out of time, so I'm gonna run a quick idea by you, and I'll go over my team later, another day. But yeah. So my only tight end right now, I have Higbee, and Cade is gone. Chig is gone. Do you think I should drop someone for another tight end like Laporta or Musgrave? Roll with it.
Who would you drop?
I could drop Rondale Moore. And then the other two I have are Dalvin and Sharps, but I don't really want to drop them.
Okay, if you don't want to drop them, then let's not include them because you need to trust your gut. But Rondale Moore, what's Rondale Moore going to do in Arizona, bro? Besides hold water and a towel, or you know what I mean? Like I like Rondale Moore. I've always liked him, but there's no shot, in my opinion, he can be consistent. Now he could have a 90-yard catch for a touchdown in week 1. We can't predict everything, but I think that maybe you do grab a backup. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think Musgrave and Laporta is a very close call. Laporta is being talked about as being the number 2 option in Detroit already for Jared Goff, but Musgrave is the measurables, if you're looking at the metrics and the measurables, Musgrave's maybe the most impressive tight end in the entire class, and that includes Kincaid. Like, you're talking about measurables. This guy's a beast. He's like 6'5", 250. I just don't know if he'll progress right away. It could be like a 20-yard week 1 or 1 catch for 12 yards. Laporta is catching everything in camp and practice and looking so good. I don't know which one. Higbee should be spoon-fed targets, I imagine, because who else is going to get him? It's Cooper Kupp and Higbee. That's it. They'll probably be playing from behind. Seattle's going to, I think, work them over. And so the Higbee could get a lot of volume. Maybe Higbee's the safest week 1 play, and you pick up, I would say, Laporta, but monitor Musgrave. That's what I'd do. Rondale Moore, deuces.
That makes a lot of sense. One other quick question. I got Diggs. He was my first round pick. Do you think I should turn him into Amon-Ra somehow, or just roll with Diggs?
I mean, you're going to get some people to argue Diggs over Amon-Ra over Diggs. A lot of people will like Diggs more than Amon-Ra. But I would do the trade straight up, but I don't know how much I'd give up because Diggs is potentially a top 5 wide receiver. So it depends what you're giving up. I don't think I'd force that. If you got Diggs, you got a good receiver like Diggs, Lamb, Amon-Ra. I mean, what are we talking? If Amon-Ra does outscore him, is it 10 points, 20 points? I don't know. I'd rather have Amon-Ra, but what are you moving? What do you got to? Who's going to just make that trade without some significant piece being involved? Unless they like Diggs more, then you could do it straight up, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, do they?
All right, man. Well,
they probably do like Diggs more. Most people would. So maybe if you want Amon-Ra that bad, you could go ahead and go that route. All right, hey, I got to go, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Call in tomorrow. All right, guys, I've added like 5 more people to the phone line, just to because I try not to say no to everybody, but I have to keep the timer. I literally have to hang up the line if you guys go over, just because I'll never get out of here. So I'm gonna put it at 20 seconds. And then after the timer is over, I'm disconnecting the line. It's a dog-eat-dog world on the phone line today. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and go to Cali Loco. You've got 20 seconds, and I'm disconnecting. What can I do for you?
All right. I'm going quick. I got some tight end commando targets.
I like Ferguson for Dallas.
I like it.
Dak,
9 seconds.
The tight end. I mean, he's way down there. The other one is Irv Smith. Come on.
Okay.
What's up with Burrow?
Good job. He did it. He did it. He did it. He did it in time. I hung up on him. Ferguson. I like Fergie.
This isn't Ali Loco. I'm Ali Loco.
Oh, what did I do? Who's Cali Loco?
Me, bro. What? This guy's.
I must have the lines crossed here. That was no. You're Grant from Cali.
No, Smitty, I'm Grant.
So is Cali Loco still on the line?
I'm Josh. Who's Ali Loco?
I don't know. You guys are confusing the hell out of me. All right, let's go ahead and go. Let's go ahead and go to David real quick. David, you have 20 seconds. I'm sorry to cut you off after 20 seconds. Go.
No, you good, Smitty. Called you earlier about the trade. Just wanted to ask you another one. We want to go to the Hurts owner. He's not happy with his team. He's got JJ and Breece. I was going to offer A.J. Brown, Damian Pierce, and I told you Deontay Johnson, but I'm thinking Christian Watson. Would that be fair?
For what, Watson? For what?
His JJ and Breece, and he's got Hurts as his quarterback from A.J. Brown, Damian Pierce, and Christian Watson.
So A.J. Brown, Pierce, and Christian Watson for JJ and Hall. I think that would be a lot to pay, but probably be worth the JJ Hall side, but very, very close. It would depend on your depth, and I would like it if your depth could support it. So great trade. I mean, I don't know what the chat thinks. Let's let the chat decide. Guys, would you rather have JJ and Hall or AJ Brown, Pierce, and Watson? I'd rather have JJ and Hall. I think the chat would agree. Appreciate you, David. Good move.
I appreciate it.
Later. Avi, you got 20 seconds, pal.
Yeah, so I would be trading Calvin Ridley and Swift and be getting ETN and DJ Moore. Like, I offered it, and I think I'm going to do it.
DJ Moore and ETN. I would rather have DJ Moore, ETN. All right, Avi, good job.
Yeah.
Yep, go get it done.
Yeah.
All right, later. Let's go to Muted Mario. You have 20 seconds. Go.
Smitty, just a quick question for you specifically. When are we getting episode 2 of the Smithers? I don't know if you're working on that or anything, but I really liked episode 1.
Yeah, I got to do that, man. I have some stuff filmed. I just haven't edited yet. I'm so slammed. I mean, you look at me right now tonight. It's like a chicken with my head cut off. I'll get something going. I'll get something going. Appreciate you, Muted Mario. Anything else?
No, that's all. You're the man, Smitty.
All right.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate you. The selfless man, Muted Mario, calling in about the show, not about himself. Thank you, Muted Mario. Grant from Cali, you've got 20 seconds.
First half point PPR league for me that I've done. I'm usually used to PPR league. So anything that you advise differently, I have number 2 pick. Any change in drafting players, anything, et cetera, that I didn't know.
No, not really, bro. I mean, half PPR, 1 PPR, it doesn't change much at all. Everybody kind of just moves around, like, relatively speaking. The only thing I'd say that it does in a way, is it kind of moves down everybody but quarterbacks. So in a sense, quarterbacks values, they score a little more points than everybody else in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? Because if running backs score a little less, wide receivers score a little less or a lot less, more because running backs run, then quarterbacks stay the same. Guess who goes up in value? Quarterbacks. So that makes me like Fields.
Number 2, take Jamar Chase or Bijan?
Do you have any Bijan shares? If not, take Bijan. If you've got Bijan shares all over the place, go Jamar Chase.
If I do Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Right, thank you, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Doc, I'll give you a couple more seconds than 20 just because you're the doc.
Hey, Smitty, appreciate you, man. Wow, but we did our draft lottery earlier this week on Sunday, and I've got the 4th pick. I'm excited about it. I've got a lot of options. I'm hoping that Bijan will be available for me or one of the top flight receivers. But I was just calling to say, hey, man, I've been following the shows, and I love your content today. I was actually in a class. I caught you on the tail end. But if you're on later on today, I will definitely call in. And
I don't know if you what I know you're avoiding Jonathan Taylor this year. I was always kind of iffy on him anyway. But if you had to pick a team that might get him later on in the half this season, if it were to happen, who do you think could pull that off?
The Eagles. It sounds like the Packers were really interested. I think the Chargers should go after him. Give Herbert that longevity running back to replace Eckler. So if a team was smart, the Packers would do the same thing, replace Aaron Jones, overlap the two running backs for a year. Who cares? You telling me that he doesn't help Jordan Love, progress. So those would be the best fits for me. The Chargers and even though the Packers were kind of like a wild idea when we heard it, it makes so much sense to me. The Chargers, the Eagles, and the Packers to me are the best landing spots for JT.
I thought the Chargers don't pay running backs long-term contracts.
Well, they don't pay older running backs necessarily because Eckler, they did give Eckler a nice little free raise. It was small, but they said, hey, just for being you, here's a raise. So, you could look at it like, okay, well, what do they want to pay? Is it because he's older? Well, yeah, it is because Eckler's 28 years old.
Okay. Yeah,
all right, bro.
Well, appreciate
Doc,
I know you got to get out of here, man. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you again soon, buddy.
Later, Doc.
I'll hit you again before my draft.
All right. Sounds good. Later, Doc. Rock out. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I need to drop two people. Would you drop Curtis Samuel and Zay Jones, or Gainwell and Samuels?
Curtis Samuel and Zay, or Gainwell and Curtis Samuel? Is that what your question is?
Yeah.
So Samuel, you're set on. So it's between Gainwell and okay. I mean, if you need a wide receiver, I'm keeping Zay. If you need an RB, I'm keeping Gainwell. I just let the position of need decide that because I like both of them.
I got Brian Robinson and Bigsby over Gainwell.
Yeah. Gainwell could be sneaky. I'd probably go Zay Jones, though. Gainwell sneaky, but Zay. Give me Zay. Well, I don't know. What's the chat think? Maybe the RB safer. There's a lot of mouths to feed in. Yeah,
I got to drop like two.
Yeah, maybe drop Curtis Samuel and Zay, and you keep Gainwell because he's an RB. That's probably what I do. I don't know that I want to do that, but that's probably what I do. It's very, very tough. I'd love to know what the chat thinks. Do you drop Gainwell or do you drop Zay? Zay, a lot of mouths to feed, kind of makes me feel like
then the rest of my receivers would be JSN and Tank Dell.
Out of your
bench.
Okay, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Let's see what the chat thinks. We'll let the chat decide. All right, rock out. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
Later. Russian Collusion says check before you're done tonight. I will. I'll leave it. I'll pull it up right now and leave you a message right this very second when I hang up here. Russian Collusion, thank you for the $50 hauler. Actually, I would if my phone didn't just die. So let me plug that in real quick. Appreciate you all, guys. Thank you. And Jay dropping the super chat here, $5 hauler. Smitty the GOAT, best in the business. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. And I wouldn't be here without you guys. So you guys are the ones that deserve all the glory. Rel 7 with the super chat. I want to package Dobbins and Javonte for another running back. What running backs are worth it? Javonte and Dobbins. I mean, first you got to find a partner that needs 2 RBs. That's not always the easiest thing to do. Baked in boys, call in again if you're trying to dial in. I don't know if Baked in boys is calling in or not. Baked in boys, call in real quick if you want, bro. I want to package in Dobbins and Javonte. Walker. Breece Hall's tempting, but Javonte could be as good as both of them, just letting you know. Ramondre. I don't know that there's that many running backs that fit that bill, to be honest. That's, those are... Javonte's got that much potential. It's hard to, trade him. Because what if you're trading him away for a player that's not actually better than him? So RBs, let me pull up RBs. What's up, Baked In Boys? I didn't mean to keep you on hold and you end up hanging up, but how's it going, pal?
Hey, I was on hold for a long time, and then I just hung up and heard.
Well, but the thing is, I'm sorry about that. The thing is, you weren't there. Like, it wasn't showing you there. It showed that you hung up, and then I don't know if it like separated your call from the rest of the group.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, bro.
Maybe it's the line. I just hung up not even 30 seconds ago.
I'm sorry, bro. I think it separated your call from the groups, and then you were just sitting there on your own call, and I had no idea. And then when you hung up, I looked up and said Baked In Boys hung up. I'm like, what? So my bad, bro.
That's okay. That's okay. I was gonna ask a quick question. So on ESPN, Alvin Kamara is like right above Breece Hall and Ken Walker. I was just going to get your thoughts. So basically a fifth rounder on ESPN.
I mean,
and I think he's much later on Underdog.
He could play like that.
I think they didn't factor in the 3-game suspension, but I was going to get your thoughts. If you were, would you take him in one league over Walker or Hall?
No, but I do want him the next round. Yeah. But no, he's not a 4th-round guy
right,
to me.
If he falls a round or two, then you would do it.
Yeah, I'd take him at like late 5, but I wouldn't take him in the 4th like I'd take Walker or Hall. So I'd take him late. Like, he's about a round or 2 after that. I mean, we cleaned up getting him in 7, 8, 9 all offseason long. And not that Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. We're drafting tomorrow night, guys. Links in the description of the video. The link I'm going to drop in the live chat right now. We'll be drafting tomorrow night. So please click this link. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. And we're going to be drafting tonight. The link just got dropped. It's in the description of every video. We will be drafting, and we were cleaning up all offseason with Kamara in 7, 8, 9. Not that best ball is the only thing, but I feel so satisfied with the Alvin Kamara shares that I have. I don't think I need to like do what a lot of other people are doing right now, which is making up for the fact that they didn't get him, and so they're overdrafting him. But I think, Sleeper has him like in the 4th round or 5th round. And he's been there the entire offseason. It's not like they've adjusted anything for the negative. They just kept him like where he was last year. Like it didn't even. Yeah. So it sucks because you go on.
ESPN adjusted it, so he was like a 7th or 8th rounder on ESPN for a while. Then when the suspension actually came out, they bumped him up a lot. Like, I think maybe they thought, well, the suspension might be 6 games or 8 games, which I didn't think that, but yeah. I think and then so they bumped him up several rounds, and it was like, well, I may not be getting him this year.
Yeah.
Another question. So you've been talking about the quote-unquote going commando and tight end, meaning going really late. I'm just a little bit confused about that strategy, but I think I want to do it. So I wanted to ask questions. How late of a tight end draft pick would you consider going commando?
Rel, I put up some names
and how strong is that?
Yeah, and Rel, I put up some names here of the players that I think are worth.
So the guy I've been kind of targeting is Evan Ingram or else Cole Kmet if I don't get Ingram.
Yeah,
and I'm a little. I had Ingram at the end of last year, and he did awesome at the very end. So that's kind of why I wanted to get him.
Yeah,
again.
Ingram.
But I don't know. Now that they have Ridley, I feel like Ridley's going to be the alpha at Jacksonville, and all those other Jacksonville ETN, if they pass it to him enough, might be good. I feel like the rest of Jacksonville is going to plummet because Ridley's just that good.
Yeah, Ingram is great for me. Kincaid Okonkwo is a great combo I talk about all the time. One of those guys with Laporta or Musgrave. But Waller is a steal. Sometimes not. Ingram is definitely a steal almost all the time. And so, yeah, those are great moves. But if, like, when I say go commando, let's say you've got Mark Andrews. You've got to hit the wire. You're not going to find Ingram on the wire. You don't necessarily need to trade for a tight end, although you could. But if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I screwed up in my draft, I need an RB, or you had JT and the JT news broke, and you're like, crap, I got to do something. Commando to me, or what we've kind of said with it, is that you trade away Andrews and you go to the waiver wire or your bench. Hopefully you've got an Okonkwo or you drafted some backup, and you go to the bench, the waiver wire. You pick up a Juwan Johnson and you cuff him to your other tight end. And let's say you had Kincaid or Okonkwo on the bench, and now you turn Andrews into a Debo or Kenneth Walker and something. Gibbs or whatever you get lucky enough to do, a Ridley. That's kind of the definition of commando. Like whatever we decide. But
okay.
yeah,
What do you think about the strategy of you go Evan Ingram or Cole Kmet, and then the guys you're mentioning like Austin Kincaid and Chigakonkwo are going literally the last pick of your draft, or like very late rounds. So what do you think about you draft either Ingram or Kmet or somebody in that neighborhood, and then you draft Kincaid or Okonkwo at the very end of your
course.
draft?
I mean, I'm always drafting Kincaid. Always drafting him.
Okay.
Yeah, and you also want to set yourself up
so
for
that
like
way, if one of them gets injured or they just don't pan out, you've got maybe another really good choice.
If you end up going with, let's say, an Andrews, I'm always preparing to trade Andrews if I draft Andrews. If I draft Kelsey, I'm always preparing that I'm going to trade Kelsey, and so I back up that tight end position so that I'm prepared for if that moment comes, because going early tight end isn't, sometimes there's buyer's remorse. I don't think there will be with Kelsey this year, but there's always.
So actually, Mark Andrews is the guy I've done that for before, and since him, I've never drafted it. I'm just not someone who drafts tight end early.
All right, Baked In Boys, I got to get out of here. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
All right, later, pal. And this is the last call. Mike, I'm out of here. You got 20 seconds, bro. You got 20 seconds. I'm hanging up on you, pal, so quick. I appreciate you, though.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, I traded. I made a trade. I need to know if you want me to take a lap real quick. Okay.
Hurry.
So the trade I made, because my team was mostly auto draft. This is 10-team PPR.
8 seconds.
I traded away. All right. I traded away Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, Miles Sanders, and Daniel Jones for Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, and it was Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Tyler Boyd. That was kind of like a throw-in. But
Okay.
yeah, do I need to take a lap?
Give me this one more time. I'm sorry. You got Burrow and Gibbs, and you traded away what?
Tyreek Hill and Daniel Jones and Miles Sanders.
Sanders and okay. You're telling me you traded away Hill, Sanders, and Danny Dimes, and the only thing you got back was two of my favorite players?
Yeah.
And totally redeemed yourself? Yes, I love it.
Okay. Thank you.
You've just been...
Appreciate you, Mike. Good job. Later, pal. Nice work. He's so confused. He's like one. He didn't even say bye. He couldn't even say bye. He was like, I don't know what happened. I think Smitty liked it. I'm not sure. Rel, I hope you saw this list, Rel. Najee, Gibbs, Stevenson, ETN. I kept it up there for you so you could relish in it and go get it done. Appreciate you, Rel. Thank you for your super chat. Recovery with a $10 hauler. Recovery.
To the moon.
You see how hard it is for me to get out the door? Recovery. I said I was going to leave like an hour and a half ago. Yo, Smitty, I'm in a 10-teamer and don't have a backup QB. Love is on the waiver wire. Should I drop Elijah Moore for him? The rest of my bench is Pacheco, JSN, Dodson, Khalil Herbert. Yeah, I probably would, bro. I hate to drop Elijah Moore, but Love's more important. It's a more important position. My man, it's a more important position. Brofist, Brad, appreciate you, bro. First Brofist of the month or year, maybe. Brofist, appreciate you being here. Smokey the Cat, 12-point PPR, Jacobs and Gibbs for Chase. Oh. You know, the only reason I say no to this is because I feel like you can keep Gibbs and trade Jacobs for like Walker or Ridley or something, bro. So I'm going to say no to this. It's not worth it because you keep Gibbs and you trade Jacobs for a Ridley. Ridley and Gibbs is better than Chase. So Smitty disapprove on that, and you just got to think that one out. Not going to do it. Not going to do it, Smokey. Wouldn't be prudent. Not at this juncture, buddy boy. Appreciate you super chatting and asking the question. And let the chat could disagree or agree. Let the chat come in and give their opinion. All right. He doesn't need Love, says Goran. Why, Gordon? He said he didn't have a backup quarterback. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Gorn? He doesn't have a backup quarterback, broski. What's he supposed to do? It's a more important position. And Arrest, appreciate you. Sup? Just took Olave just for you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Just when I thought I was out, they super chatted me back in. We got a Heat lifer. Smitty, what move should I make? 10-team PPR, Bijan, Garrett Wilson, Olave, DJ Moore, Stevenson, Pacheco, Fields, Kittle, Hollywood, Pittman, drafted at the 7th pick. I mean, Garrett Wilson, Olave, DJ Moore's fire. Bijan's fire, bro. Stevenson's fire. Pacheco's great. Fields, nothing. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do because if you had to trade, I mean, Stevenson and Hollywood for maybe, like, would I trade Stevenson for Walker and Charbonnet? I might. For Walker only? Maybe not. I don't know. Would I trade Stevenson for Gibbs? Yes. Would I trade Hollywood and Stevenson for Gibbs? That's what I would do. That's the move I would make. That's the only move to make. The rest of it needs to marinate and gain value, my boy. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Go get Garrett Wilson. Come on, man. Pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, man, it's Devontae Adams again. Call me back, bro.
Law Dog Milk for mains on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk. A lion lives among us, posing as half man, half lawman. His golden mane is reportedly 6 feet long and is bathed in milk.
That's right.
His marvelous mane grows longer with each breath he takes. Legend has it that if you say T-Law in the dark in the bathroom 3 times, you lose your league instantly. Conspiracy fanatics have linked his triangle bone structure to the ancient pyramids and alien theory.
Your eyes.
Garrett Wilson and the boys.
Your eyes.
Rogers has new toys.
Your eyes.
The lights, the heat.
Your eyes.
A Jets fan complete.
Your eyes.
You don't want to test Sauce Gardner's heat.
Your eyes.
I want to watch Breece Hall's quick feet.
Jets country, let's ride.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live whenever news breaks. See you all tomorrow, unless news breaks. Deuces.
Get breached.